Come on, you Spurs! Let's go! Semi-finals. Welcome back to another instant match reaction. Spurs have beaten Manchester United 4-3 in what was an absolutely bonkers, crazy. Nerve-inducing, stressful watch for all Tottenham fans.
It finished with a simgasm.
I just about got through that game. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it through that game, to be honest, at times.
Mate, I've never seen you like that before.
Honestly, I've never seen the emotions I went through during that game was absolutely crazy. But we are in the semi-finals. We've beaten Man United 4-3. Here with John Cooper to discuss that absolutely topsy-turvy, all the drama that unfolded during that game. Also, the draw will be happening on the stream as well. So to stay tuned for that, I will bring you when the draw happens. It's going to be happening shortly, but we'll keep you up to date for who we are drawing in the semi-finals. But John,
it'll be Arsenal.
Probably, but look. What a game of football. Taking the lead in the first half. That seems like ages ago now, the first half. I can't even remember who scored. Solanke scored in that first half.
Yeah, he did. Good anticipation.
Great anticipation, following up on a long-range power shot. It wasn't a bad game in the first half, but it was a bit end-to-end. But obviously, it didn't obviously go as crazy until the second half, where we burst into a 3-goal lead. Kulusevski with the right foot finish, and then Solanke with a brilliant striker's effort. But then we looked like it was home and host at that point.
Yeah.
3-0 up.
And we were controlling the game as well.
We were controlling the game.
They looked like they'd completely given up.
We came out flying, which we are very good at, by the way, in terms of hitting teams with quick goals, aren't we? We've seen it against Chelsea, Southampton. We've seen it many times. West Ham, Villa, like we can get one and another very quickly. We're very good at hitting teams quick. And we came out in the second half, we did that. And we thought, all right, we've put this game to bed. United make a triple substitution. They bring on Ahmad, they bring on whoever, they brought on a triple substitution. And all of a sudden, yes, the momentum went in their way, but there was no excuse for Fraser Forster with those mistakes. And he makes two absolute, inexcusable,
apart from the second one. I mean, the second one was up there with Carrier's Champions League final.
Yeah, shocking mistakes from Fraser
The first
Forster.
one, it was a terrible mistake, but at least you could say, oh, there's a little bad there's like a miscommunication. You could argue. I'm not saying it was, but you can argue a point there. But the second one was just like a heavy touch.
Yeah,
I mean, like 3 yards from your own goal.
You can see Ahmad coming all the way as well. He allows him to get as close to him.
That's pub league
and
stuff, isn't it?
Ahmad slid the ball into the back of the net, essentially blocking Fraser Forster's clearance. And then it was 3-2 with 70 minutes on the clock, 20 minutes. And with Man United piling on the pressure, momentum on their side, just brought on Garnacho as well. You're fearing the worst. You're like, how are we going to hang on for these last 20 minutes? Tottenham clearly tiring as well. Yeah. We're lacking options off the bench.
They didn't have many chances, though, did they, really?
Not to make it 3-3. I actually thought we defended quite well.
Yeah, we did.
I thought Dragic and Gray, they did their bit. I'm trying to think of any real moment where you could have said they could have made it 3-3. Ahmad had a few speculative shots, didn't he, which went over the bar. Yeah. They put us under pressure, no doubt about it.
I thought Porro was really
was
busting a lung in that second half.
And 89th minute, obviously, we have a rare attack, win a corner for another good moment from Jack Spence. And Son.
Did he mean it?
Did he? Of course he meant it.
Of course he did, mate.
This is Sonny we're talking
Puskas
about.
Award.
He whips in a corner. The goal goes straight in, direct from a corner from him and Son. Exactly what we needed to relieve the pressure.
It wasn't a foul either, was it?
I don't think. I mean, I've seen it again.
No, it's not a foul for me.
It's weak from the keeper. I think the keeper can have a little complaint. Bergval's challenging him, but I don't know if it was a foul.
Imagine having that on your resume, letting a goal in from a corner as a goalkeeper. That's not good, is it?
It's a brilliantly whipped in corner from Son.
No, but it is. But it's not like it can't be dealt with.
No, it should have been dealt with. We make it 4-2, but the drama didn't end there. 6 minutes added on in stoppage time. And in the third minute of stoppage time, Johnny Evans beating Basuma to a corner at the near post. I think Forster could have done better with that one as well, and makes it 4-3. Tottenham hanging on for their dear lives at the end. But John, in terms of the overall,
there was just an advert for Palat. I don't know what it was. It said Palat, and it says the game is far from over.
Yeah, and that's basically the story of
That was the slogan of that brand. That's how it felt, wasn't it?
Look, brilliant cup ties needs to be said, and it's brilliant to be in the semi-final. Yeah. But in terms of, for you, how do you assess the game? How overall do you think?
I actually think that Man United probably controlled the ball a little bit better in the first half, but they were still vulnerable at the back. I still felt we looked dangerous going forwards, and when we actually got control in the middle of the park, I felt like we could actually do something with it. And we did create a few chances. Decky also could have made it 2-0, I think, at one point, if he went across the keeper. So we were both looking vulnerable at the back. I think United were getting a lot of joy from little lofted diagonal balls, putting Porro under pressure a little bit. He was straddling lanes, wasn't he? He didn't know whether to stay more in a central position or more out wide. And they were actually they were actually walking the ball into the penalty area, weren't they, from that left-hand side, getting so many touches. And if they'd have just threaded the proper pass across, into the penalty area, they would have got onto the end. I feel like they could have definitely got onto the end of one of those, but they didn't, did they? They made the wrong pass in those areas. And then second half, we controlled the ball brilliantly, I thought. I thought we were dominating the game. I thought that they looked like they'd given up, especially after our second goal, right?
Yeah,
and
third goal. Yeah,
third goal, third goal. And then Forster making those mistakes, it gave them encouragement. It gave them a bit of belief. You could see it got their tails up, didn't it? And then it made us feel a little bit more nervy. The Spursiness set in a little bit. We started to go a little bit like headless chickens, and you could feel the panic setting in a little bit. Credit to the crowd; they were still chanting, weren't they? They were still singing, "Come on, you Spurs!" And but I actually think in the last 10 minutes or so, I think the defence held out quite well. We didn't actually let them in for too many chances, did we?
No, as much as it was nervy and they were obviously the momentum was with them and it was dangerous. Not saying like they didn't look like they could score.
Yeah.
They didn't really create too many chances where Forster had to make a good save or anything like that. I actually think defensively, apart from the 2 goals they scored, which are massive errors from Forster, and then Forster actually did make a save at 3-0. That was from Xerxes, that header.
What about the kick?
And then he made
I've never seen
that
you were
kick.
saying you've never seen that before.
Bloody hell!
Can you imagine if he went to kick it and he aired it?
That was bloody hell.
That would have been a hat trick.
I'd have
wouldn't
walked out the studio with it, honestly. But yeah, I think.
Can you relax now anyway?
I can just about. I mean, we're in the semi-finals, so I'm absolutely delighted. But it was an absolutely balmy second half.
Barnstorming Barney.
Madness of what happened in that second half.
They're showing the goals here.
Because I thought we'd done so well to get in a 3-goal lead. We were so clinical. In fact, we only had 3 shots in that second half. Obviously, I don't know if Son's goal counts as a shot or not, but obviously he gets a goal. And the other 2 shots were Kulusevski.
Why doesn't it count as a shot? Because it's a corner.
I guess it depends if you think he whipped it in or not. I guess it must count as a shot, right? So we scored all our shots in the second half. We only had 3 shots. But we were so clinical in that last... in that first 10 minutes of the second half, when we came out with real intent to kill off the game. We were saying before the game how important it was going to be to make sure we have a significant lead going into that last, say, half an hour, 25 minutes, because we knew Man United had some big hitters to come on. We knew that they had fresh legs as well. We knew we're on our feet as well in terms of squad selection, wherever squad is at. So to go into that last half an hour 3-0 was always going to be massive, wasn't it? And
here's the expected goals. Proved. Here's some stats for you.
XG, we had
0.67 expected goals.
2.38. Wow. Well, I guess the 2 goals they scored, how big were the expected goals on those, weren't they? They were big. Yeah,
but you don't expect Forster to mess that up, do you?
No, but that's why the XG is so high for them, because those 2 goals are probably both won, aren't they? They're both literally tap-ins on the goal line. So that's probably why the XG is so high for Man United. But I actually think we were very clinical with the chances that we got. Solanke, massive credit to him, because brilliant finishes. He's talking.
They're actually interviewing Solanke and Decky. I'm guessing they're because are they going to give the man in the match to Decky here, or what?
Probably Solanke. I'm guessing for a brace.
Oh, for the goal, yeah.
I actually thought he held up the ball.
Do you know
really
what?
Well. If he was one of our
he scored
players.
2. So any time a player scores 2, they generally get man of the match, right? But I actually think if you just take that away, I think Jed Spence for me was the man of the match. I thought he was excellent. So composed, strong, knew when to burst forward, knew when to hold on to the ball, knew when to keep it safe. I just think he was brilliant. The through ball as well. Was it Solanke? I mean, the guy looks like he's been playing all season, doesn't he?
His through ball won the corner for the 4th goal as well.
Yeah.
And he actually looked a lot more comfortable than he has been in previous weeks on the left back position. Well, I think he's done all right, but in this game he really stepped up and he had a difficult job with the wing backs there, and he had to pick his opportunities to go forward. But I thought he pressed really well. How many interceptions he was making in those moments as well.
When there's a question mark on a player's head, it can often dent their confidence a little bit and make them play a little bit too cautiously. But when you see him on the ball, he doesn't think that way, does he? He's actually quite adventurous on the ball. He's trying to take on his man when he gets a little bit of space. It's not like he's sort of in his shell. He actually really tries to be positive on the ball. Yeah. For someone that's been frozen out for a long, long time, he shows a lot of invention, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. And I thought he's like another big occasion for him to start a game of football where he has in a massive game for Tottenham in context of our season, isn't it? Let's be honest. We all want a trophy. And
how white are Solanke's teeth, blimey?
And for him to basically start this game, having not started many games, started on Sunday against Southampton, done really well, and coming again in another brilliant performance. I'd say probably even better than the one on Sunday. So fair play to him, and got Liverpool on Sunday, and he's probably going to be looking at another start, I would say.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
good for him.
Fair play to Jed. Brilliant
go on the Jed.
But let's
Return of the Jedi.
Talk about Dom, because I think he's going to get man of the match here.
Yeah.
2 brilliant strikers' goals, wasn't it? And that second goal was, look, is he... Oh, he's giving it to Decky.
He was giving it to Decky.
Decky's
wow.
man
So
of the match.
he scored 2 goals and he didn't get man of the match. That's unusual, isn't it?
Decky as well had a brilliant game, I thought.
Yeah.
He had a strong game. But in terms of Solanke, the first goal, brilliant anticipation in the box to make sure he's always on the move when a shot is coming in. And that's something that Solanke...
Well, we're talking about how we like that about his game, weren't we? Just before, actually, he scored that.
And he's always been very good at doing that. Some of his goals have come there. But the second goal is a goal which... I think we've seen Solanke be in that position a few times this season and not maybe go direct for goal, make that yard to get the shot off. But brilliant through ball from Spence. But so great movement from Solanke to run in behind, get there ahead of Martinez, but also presence of mind to cut inside, beat Martinez, and also get that yard against Evans and a clinical finish beyond Binder as well. And that was a brilliant striker's goal, which we need to see.
We were saying we need to see more of that, weren't we? We're actually saying like we want to see more of him where he actually creates a yard for himself in situations where he's faced with a little bit of a brick wall, was your term, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like
when
to
he's
just be able to
got
get the ball out to the
him.
side and just get a shot off. We haven't seen enough of that this season. We've seen a lot of poacher goals, Fox in the box type of goals from him, but we haven't seen that kind of goal where he's actually made it for himself.
And he did so much good work off the ball as well. The amount of times he can relieve the pressure by keeping the ball and making sure that we retain possession. And we'll look, in the last minute, he's just a focal point we can go long to, isn't he? He's someone we can aim at. And without him there, we struggle. Obviously, we get penned in a lot more. And we did get penned in a bit in this game, but I think Solanke did such a great role with leaving that pressure. And fair play to him, braced on a big night for Tottenham. And, he's been criticised for not scoring enough goals. But it's a big game, and he's got a brace on a big game for us tonight, hasn't he?
I'm disappointed Spence didn't get man of the match, to be honest with you, because I just thought that would be really good for him. But anyway, they're showing the goals here. Maddison gets the deflection, and Decky on his right foot.
Who I thought on the right-hand side had a brilliant game. I thought he was giving Dallo a lot of trouble. Although Dallo was getting a lot of space on that side, wasn't he?
Do you remember the Rabona?
Yeah,
he tried a Rabona pass deck. He was getting a bit too confident, wasn't he?
But that second half, it kind of... We didn't have to have loads of chances. We just basically made the most of what we created. And that's something you're going to have to do, especially in the mode where we're in, where we know that we can't be as relentless as we want to be, can we? Because of the injuries, and we have to use the same players. So when you're like that, when you're in that mode, you have to be clinical when you get those chances. And we were, weren't we? And that's credit to the team.
I mean, a bit of fortune here for Decky's goal, because it did,
came off Martinez.
And it set up right, perfect for him. It was good that he checked his run. He kind of held back a little bit, just in case that happened. I mean, you can see from the expected goals, and we did well, didn't we, to get to score.
We had 3 goals in that half. We had 2 goals we scored 3 goals in the second half.
We scored 4 goals, and the expected goals was 0.67.
Yeah, so on that basis, maybe you got a bit fortunate.
That was good. He took that
brilliant
well
from Solanke there.
Yeah.
But I guess let's talk about Fraser Forster, because
go on.
3-0 up, coasting, and we're looking like, okay, we just have to see out this last half an hour with a 3-goal deficit, and we're into the semi-finals. Upsets Fraser Forster, who just before conceding the first goal makes a brilliant save from Xerxes from a header, pushes it wide, doesn't he? One-handed save.
Yeah.
You're thinking, well done, Fraser. Big moment for him in this game, who'd been fairly quiet. But he then very nearly cost us his whole quarter-final. 3-0 up. He first picks up the ball. We're playing it short around the back. He passed it, I think, probably blindly to Dragoshin. Bruno intercepts it, squares it to Xerxes in an open goal, 3-1. You're thinking, okay, it's only 1 goal, 25 minutes, 2-goal lead, still okay, albeit it's not good to give away that goal, but it's like, is it in the context of a game going to be a consolation, or is it going to get them back in the game? He then, 6 minutes later...
The second one is just unbelievable, inexcusable. The first one you can almost understand as like miscommunication, almost, but that second one was just
shocking.
That's Sunday League.
Shocking.
That's Sunday League.
Especially when you know it's 3-1, you've just.
That's Hackney Marshes.
But as well, in the context of you've just given away a goal.
Yeah.
Like to do it again 6 minutes later, but an even worse situation where he's basically dawdling on the ball. You can see Ahmad is running full pelt at him. He's given the ball where when he's paused it when he's received the ball, there's no one around him, and he dawdles and he dawdles and he just allows Ahmad to gain the ground on him. And I know Ahmad is rapid and I know he's fast, but
Yeah,
at
no,
that point, you've got to just get rid. You've just got to make safety first. You can't allow Ahmad to get that close to you. And he boots it straight at Ahmad, and all of a sudden it's in the back of the net. And then 3-2 with 20 minutes to go. And you're thinking, it went from a point from we're in the semi-final to, I don't see us hanging on here.
No, I know, yeah. That's like Man City FA Cup. Is it 2004?
Yeah.
Where we're 3-0 up at home. It felt like a whiff of that, didn't it?
At that point, if you probably took a snapshot of that moment, do you think Man United automatically become favourites at that point as soon as they get that second goal?
Not favourites, no.
Not favourites.
No, I still felt as though we were going to win the game, even at 3-2.
I mean, we did have to hang on.
That.
Yeah, I know,
I shouldn't think that, but I still felt good about it.
It then turned into a completely different game, didn't it? We had to hang on for dear life. It was Man United had their tails up there. They then bring on Garnacho, and you're thinking, how are we going to hang on to this game? And to be fair.
Here we go. Are they going to show it here?
This is the first one.
This is the Xerxes
I just
goal.
say they're playing it around the back here. Forster, he's been closed down by Xerxes.
No, but you can see that Dragusin almost, you can see that. Look at Dragusin. I'm going to watch Dragusin
He
here.
doesn't see Bruno. He just doesn't see him. It's terrible. On his left foot, maybe it's because he's on his weaker foot. He panics, but he's got to be getting that away. But maybe
I also think Dragson's a little bit at fault there as well.
In what sense?
Because Forster's already pointing his hand out, saying this is going to go to you, and then Dragson's position's a little bit too deep.
And also, I guess the free kick, we were a bit negative.
But this is inexcusable. That is. I mean,
it's like he takes an age to wind his leg back.
I mean, that's like having Eric Dyer in goal.
It's absolutely ridiculous from Forster. Look at.
How much space do you need?
Oh, it's terrible, and that is inexplicable. And I feel bad to go so harsh on him because he's actually done really well since stepping in. But this was clear evidence that, him playing...
Vicario's happy, isn't he?
Yeah, Vicario's shout is not happy at Fraser Forster for giving away those goals.
You know what I like about this? He's angry with Forster, right? And that shows me he's a real team player. Because if he was worried about his position, he would be sort of sitting there going, this is good for me, this is good for me. But he's actually really angry there, which shows that he's passionate about the team, which I like to see.
1 sec. And... it was, as you say, I think credit to the team at 3-2 with 20 minutes to go.
They dug in,
With Man United fresher as well, 3 subs on. We did dig in, didn't we? And we went back to that, maybe how we were defending like against Man City.
Yeah.
And we made sure that we weren't giving away any more easy chances, no more easy goals. Yes, there were times where we looked like we were under pressure, but we actually dug in really well, and we ended up getting the 4th goal. Bit of luck, obviously, directly from a corner, but credit to the team because we had to really dig in with everything we had in those last 20 minutes just to make sure we kept Man United at arm's length. And, I think we did that.
Definitely, yeah, absolutely. It was a little bit of a shame that Maddison got that yellow card because he's going to be out for the semi-final. And that happened just like seconds before he came off as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the disappointment from the game. But... yeah, you happy or not?
I'm delighted. Look, we got that goal.
When's the draw happening anyway?
The draw is going to be happening, I'm not sure.
They're going to show it here
They'll
on
show
Sky?
They'll show it on Sky. So
all right.
we'll keep I'm guessing they're showing on Sky anyway, so we'll keep you updated for when.
I might put a bet on it's going to be. Can you put a bet on it being Arsenal?
I don't know if you can bet on who you're getting.
You know it's going to be Arsenal, come on.
You reckon?
Yes, they'll never let an Arsenal Spurs final.
I kind of would prefer maybe
I would love it to be a final Arsenal
I kind of
Spurs.
don't want Newcastle because Newcastle are going to be just as up for it as we are because it's just as important for them, if you know what I mean.
Well, okay, what's your preference then?
In a weird way, it might be like Liverpool. Because I think Liverpool rest players if they play against us. I feel like they're going to rest a few players. And also, they concede goals. Like they can be quite open at times. And they might rest. If they play a similar team to what they played yesterday against Southampton, I reckon we could go toe-to-toe with that team. Especially
you'd want to choose the team that's top of the league.
I know it sounds weird, but they're top. They've got the Champions League coming up on those weeks as well.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I think this will be not a priority for them.
So you'd want them at Anfield? You're still content?
Yeah. No, it's double leg. No, 2 legs.
Oh, it's double leg. Yeah, okay,
2 legs. So I feel like Liverpool might like if we play Newcastle, they're coming full strength. They're going to prioritise these games. St James's Park has never been a good hunting ground for us. I guess Anfield, St James's, and Emirates.
Come on, Anfield's there.
They've all been
When's
bad.
it ever gone well there?
But in a weird way, I think obviously Arsenal. The problem with Arsenal is just the way they play is kind of perfect. It's perfectly suited for us, for them, to play against us. Like the way they sit deep and defend very well. Like I feel like in terms of defences, like we can get a Liverpool, Newcastle more than Arsenal, and we needed to play against a team we can do that too. So Arsenal over 2 legs. I don't know. I think I don't know. I just feel like Liverpool won't see this as a priority. We might have a better chance in a weird way.
I'll still take Newcastle.
I don't know. I feel like mate. Look, maybe.
But anyway,
I hear that. I think it's kind of choose your poison. But look, that is your, I guess, instant match reaction. That it was an unbelievable game of football. We ended up scraping through 4 goals to 3 in what was a crazy, crazy game. We are going to bring you the semi-final draw in as soon as we get it, but we're going to go through some super chats before we do that, and whenever they come. Let me see if I can get them up here. So the first one is Essa says, "I hate Tottenham Football Club." Yeah, honestly, the things they do to you, I'm not surprised after a game like that. I'm not losing my voice here. Fledgenut19 says, "Forster has been brilliant all season. Him having one bad game shouldn't have people calling for his head. He had some really good saves. Big win, boys." Do you think that performance can maybe Tottenham might reconsider whether we dip into the market in Jan for a keeper?
For me, he's the 3rd choice goalkeeper, if I'm being honest with you. I know he's had a good series of games, but he shouldn't be a 2nd choice goalkeeper for me.
Yeah. Fair enough. Forster has been saving us all season. That's his first bad day. Apurav Kumar says, "Archie, my brother, your future at the club has to be as a centre-back, only not in midfield." Wow. He said off the back of tonight, his future's a centre-back. What do you think?
I don't know. He's young. He looks composed on the ball. We still need to see a little bit more from him to know what we're going to get. But so far, so good with Archie. I still think he's got a high ceiling.
And look, tonight, credit to him because, again, a quarter-final of a big cup competition for us. He's playing centre-back as an 18-year-old. He's not in his position. Yeah. And, the two goals you can't really say is his fault, can you? The 2 Forster shot. Like, he did brilliantly tonight, didn't he? Like, Højlund, how many chances did he have? Xerxes came on and gave him some trouble, to be fair. But, like, for an 18-year-old to be competing at this kind of level, I think it's fantastic, isn't it?
Here's the goal. They're just showing Son's call.
Yeah, I wonder if they're saying it was a foul. I want to hear, what are they saying here? Let me hear what they're saying. Let me see. That's it. There, does he grab his arm there?
No, that's.
He's Carragher said he's not trying to impede him, but he done maybe.
The Man United players weren't even remonstrating, were they?
Except for by the keeper.
It's just a goalie because he feels like an idiot.
Yeah, so
he was actually saying, what's he saying? Handball, was he?
He's saying he grabbed his arm. That's what he's saying.
Look at the Man United players. None of them protested.
Appealed.
None of them.
He must be.
Look how relieved Forster is here.
He must be the most relieved man in that whole ground, Fraser Forster, with that goal going in. Fledgenut says, "I thought on a 5 back line with VDV, Kuti, and Radu. Thought on a 5 back line with VDV, Kuti, and Radu. Yeah, I mean, it's been we've thought about that. I think it could work on occasion, depending on the game. Like I think
3 at the back.
Yeah, Dragoshin as well. Credit to him because
he was all right. Yeah, no, he was strong.
Good game. Like again, credit to this team because coming into this game, we're all a bit worried about Man United being a bit fresher than us, having options, and we were out on our feet, for the last few weeks, and this was a big game to step up in. And we've done really well to get through to the semi-final.
What's Ange saying here? Let's have
Ange
a little listen.
Is speaking in his post-match interview right now. 1 sec.
He's saying we made it a lot more difficult than we should have done.
Well, of course, those mistakes you make.
Mr. Cliche.
I'm going to turn it up a bit. He said the first mistake from Fraser kind of affected the second one.
Okay, I want to. Are you going to listen to all of this or?
No, go on.
Okay, no, I was going to say, all right, if he's consistent, why is he not calling out Forster in the same way he called out Werner?
He didn't call out Werner for playing bad. He called out Werner for not trying. That was what he said.
Really?
That's what he said. It was the effort application. That was what
I didn't hear that. Well, I listened to it.
Said.
He said it was just for effort.
Yeah, an effort application.
I didn't hear. I didn't get it for that.
What did you get it for?
I just thought it's because he perceived it as him just giving the ball away and having heavy touches and.
Yeah, because he wasn't as a senior international,
Right.
he wasn't doing like he's asking young kids to perform out like overperform even, and your senior international can't even muster up like a basic performance. I can't even do basic things, and also do his tracking back and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but his Forster's not basic stuff either, right?
It is, and I guess, but I don't know.
I just want to see a bit of consistency from Ange, you know.
But
like
he did. I don't think it wasn't just because Werner. You know, if Werner missed an open goal, I don't think he's going to be battering him. It's because of his overall
effort. You think it's just the effort?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
But Ange must be delighted to be in a semi-final. Like, what in terms of our future in this competition? I guess we'll see who we get in the semi-final. But
I've got a feeling we're going to get to the final.
You reckon?
Yeah, I do.
Over 2 legs. Do you reckon this team could be quite a good cup team?
Yes, because I actually think because it's a volatile season, it's a volatile team, we're in a volatile wins and losses, right? I think that actually helps in the cup competitions in a bizarre way. Historically as well, I mentioned at the beginning, FA Cup 91 we were 10th, 1999 we were 10th in the league. What was the next one? 2008. What was that? I think we were like in the bottom half of the table, right? There's almost this weird paradox where the worse we do in the league, the more we focus on the cups in a kind of a weird, strange way. So who knows? I think maybe that there's an omen there.
I think it's more to do with the fact that clearly when we're performing well and we're fresh and we get our football going, we're very hard to stop. I think that's why we keep hitting teams very quickly with goals, because once we're in full flight and the momentum's with us, we're really hard to contain and stop. And that is perfect for a cup competition, I feel, because on your day, you don't need to be so good consistently. You just need to be on your day in a cup competition.
I actually think that
you can really beat anyone.
I think that when we play well when the game goes like an FA Cup game, when the game goes a little bit off the cuff and there's lots of spaces, teams overcommit in certain areas, they overload in certain areas, it leaves spaces. That's when we capitalise. Against Aston Villa, we did it. Against not Man City, it was a slightly different complexion. West Ham, those types of games. It goes off the cuff. I think the way we're playing is like an FA Cup 90s, in the 90s or something like that. I think when that happens, I actually favour us in those types of games. It's the games where the opposition sets up in a low block, they're very disciplined, and they have those out balls, like the Ipswich game, for instance. That's when we come unstuck, and you see that slow passing at the back, and it's like we're finding it very difficult to, we get to the edge of the area and we're doing that kind of crescent moon shape passing around the edge of their area. But I think when the game goes very loose, very open, off the cuff, I think that actually suits us.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it'll be interesting. This will be Ange's first double-legged tie as a Spurs manager, right? The semi-final, if he makes it there.
Yeah.
I guess he's still in a job, which I hope he will be.
What do you mean?
He'll be in the job. I'm saying
you're not saying he's going to get sacked before.
People are talking about it.
Yeah.
Before the Southampton game.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying.
No, I know. It was all on that Southampton game, wasn't it?
If we don't win that, we'll be sacked. Look, to be fair, since that Bournemouth game, which he was.
That was a shocker. That was a shocker.
Not saying it wasn't, but a lot of people are saying he's not going to last till Christmas. He's on his way out.
Ben, I think so.
Ben was on that train. Since then, we've drawn with Rangers. Not the best performance, but a good result. Beaten Southampton 5-0 and now beaten Man United in the semi-final. So is there a bit of a corner turn, do you think?
It's not like there's a corner turn. We know what we're going to get from Ange. We know he's capable of winning like 6 games in a row and then losing 6 games in a row. The difference is the fickle Spurs fans is when he's winning those first, let's say, 5-6 games in a row. Everyone's like, yeah, he's brilliant. Ange, he's like, we're going to win the league. And then we lose 6 games in a row, and those same fans will say, no, he's got to go, he's terrible, That's what I don't like about it. But if you look at the stats, you like your stats.
Yeah.
I think how many Premier League games we won and lost, I think it's the same, isn't it? Since the Chelsea game last season. No, but from the Chelsea game last season. It's about the same amount of wins and the same amount of losses and very few draws. That's what you're going to get from Ange. It's just like we're capable of going on a run of like winning 5 games in a row, but we're also capable of losing 3 or 4 games in a row. It's how knee-jerk you're going to be in those moments. Are you going to be knee-jerk when we're winning all those games saying, yeah, we're going to top 4, or are you going to be knee-jerk when we lose 3 or 4 in those rows? He needs to go.
Exactly.
There's a lot of knee-jerk reactions to either one of those, isn't there?
Welcome to the Spurs fandom. we're a very knee-jerk fan base, let's be honest. But look,
but especially with Ange, though, because it's very volatile, the results are very volatile.
Ange interview brilliant. So what was he saying? We couldn't listen to it. I'll try and get some quotes pulled from the interview if I can on Twitter. Let's see what he said. But people are saying he gave a good interview. He said, "Are you not entertained?"
Oh, he didn't say that, did he?
He did, apparently.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Are you not entertained?
Oh, fuck off, man.
Did you watch Gladiator?
Fuck off, mate. Just make sure we get the win and just,
Are you not entertained, though?
Did he really? Please don't tell me he said that, did
That's
he?
what he said. Are you not entertained?
What is this? What is this, a circus?
Well,
Just get 2 goals up
and
and...
entertainment?
He should have been like, he should have said,
entertainment.
I was disgraced by the goalkeeping errors. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. That game should have been put to bed early.
Is football
Are you
not
serious?
Did
he really say that?
Is it not entertainment?
No, he didn't.
He
Please
said
don't.
it.
Oh,
He
fuck.
said it. He said it. What do you want me to say?
What's he think this is? Some movie promo?
But are you not entertained?
No, I wasn't actually. I was terrified.
I don't know if I'd ever want to go through that last half an hour again.
My
That's
God.
true.
Does he really see it like that?
He said, "Are you
Dreadful.
not entertained?" I don't think.
Hopefully that's tongue in cheek.
I'm sure. I mean, I'll have to watch the interview back, but
Hopefully he said, "Are you not entertained?" Then went, "No, I'm joking."
People said
Like
he's
that was...
definitely taking the piss. People
Right.
saying. I obviously have to watch. I haven't seen the interview. I can only see quotes here. We'll wait to see. This again. The draw will be happening at any moment. As well, on this stream, it'll be your chance to have your say. So the link will be out, and we'll get you guys on. But I think we'll do that after the semi-final draw, and we'll get everyone's reaction to this.
Do you see what I mean about they're saying Vicario's reaction to Forster's mistake? I like that because it shows to me he's really passionate about the team. You know, there wasn't even a hint of him feeling like, oh, I might lose my place to Forster, was there?
Yeah,
in those
definitely.
reactions.
Yeah, it's true. In terms of how you feel, what was not result, but in terms of where our season is now, how big a win this is for us into the semi-finals. Which, by the way, we're not going to play till January. So hopefully in January we're going to have a bunch of players back. Especially we're definitely going to have like the likes of Bentancur, probably Van der Ven, Richarlison. They're probably going to be back. I don't know about the likes of Romero or anyone else, but those 3 players, should give us some respite at that time. At the moment we're 10th in the league, but only 4 points off 5th or 5 points off 4th. So 5 points off 4th. So still very.
How many
very
points
tight.
are we off Everton though?
Everton,
or like some, like the teams just hovering above relegation. I think we were equidistant at one point, weren't we?
We're 5 points off 4th, but we're 8 points off Everton. But if we're looking at 14th in West Ham, we're 4 points away from West Ham. So 4 points from 14th, but 4 points from 5th. So it could go either way, essentially.
Yeah, so that's, you've got to give it a bit of context.
No, of course, but we'll hopefully be looking up, not down. We'll like to think. Still, we're in a good position in Europa League, where probably 4 points out of 2 games gets us into that top 8, into the semi-finals. Like, do you really think like we could really turn the season around? Is that do you feel that way?
But what would that look like to you, turning it around?
Getting into a cup final potential, maybe winning a cup final, getting back into that conversation, top 4, top 5, getting into that Europa League, knockout stages into the top 8 of the Europa League. So we get into that last 16 quarterfinal stage.
I would take 10th in a League Cup right now, wouldn't you?
Are we not capable of that?
Yeah, we're capable of it. We're always capable of winning a trophy, aren't we? But I would bite my arm off for that, But I think for him to keep his job, he's got to win the League Cup and finish at least 8th. If he doesn't win the League Cup, or if he doesn't win a trophy, he's got to finish 5th for me.
But in terms of how we're set up right now in the season, it's a really rough time at the moment, as we've said, with injuries and just trying to get through these games, with the players that we got.
Is it about injuries, though? Do you think it's about injuries?
I think a lot of it is, especially how
many injuries were there against Man City?
How many injuries? There's a lot of injuries.
Who were the main injuries against City?
We didn't have Van der Ven or Romero in that game. Yeah. Well, we did well to win with all those injuries.
Yeah, but no one complains when we win against City. No one mentions the injuries in those games.
You have to
it didn't affect us in that game, but then as soon as we lose, it's about the injuries.
No. I think when it comes to injuries, right, it's not always about. You can kind of get away with it in one-off games, maybe even tonight. But when it's like when you're asked for a squad to go through like 8, 9, 2 months with it, or that, then it becomes a compounding effect. When it's like, okay, we need to be up for this game and stuff like that, then sometimes you can get away with it, even with a heavily injured squad, as we've seen, right? Yeah. But when you're asking, can you be consistent? Can you play all these games at this level for 2 months, right? Then it becomes a lot more difficult. And then all of a sudden, yes, injuries is because you need to swap players to freshen them up.
Yeah, but do you not think rushing Romero and Van der Ven was like,
Maybe that was
contributing to
a
that.
mistake. Clearly that was a mistake,
You know?
and I think he probably regrets it at this point. But he said they trained. I'm not there. I'm not the medical staff. They trained, and
I think Dragusin probably earned his place anyway. To be fair.
Yeah, and Dragson's done well, but again, he's playing every game. Davis has played every game, and now he's got injured. Porro and Udogie been running to the ground. Now Spencer's in,
and look at the difference when you bring a Spence in, and it brings. You could feel the freshness in the way that he was playing, right? You could feel that in the way that he was moving the ball around, and that's what you need. You need to have those players that can come in, a bit of trust and confidence in those types of players on the periphery.
But with all the talk at the moment, before, like as I said, like the Bournemouth game where it was a lot of Anjao, and now we've had this little run. Do you think that's going to be like are you confident now? Let's say he will last the season.
No,
from a board point of view.
I'm never confident because we're more than capable of winning 5 games in a row, but also losing 3 or 4 games in a row, as I said just before. And I think things can turn very toxic after 3 or 4 defeats in a row. And that's just the way that Ange plays. You can see our results over the last 12 months. We've won as much as we've lost. So it just means like how many games of those in a row that are we going to win, or how many games of those in a row we're going to lose. If there's a few in a row consecutively, I think that can bring a lot of pressure on him. So, and then, like Ben was saying, I think he'll be gone by Christmas, didn't he? But then like a month ago, Ben was saying, I don't understand the hate for Ange, and he gave him an 8 out of 10. Look how quickly he changed with his opinion on Ange. So I think that's symptomatic of the fan base as well. I think the fans can turn very quickly. But then after a couple of results, you know how fickle people are. They'll be like, have we turned a corner? Are we back on for top 4? So that, that's just the way it goes, isn't it?
Yeah. But I think in terms of Ange ball and stuff like that, I know you've been critical of it in the past. Obviously, I'm guessing nothing you've seen in the past few weeks has changed your mind on that.
I think when we did the panel show straight after the Brighton game, I think looking back on that, I was bang on, because I was saying that there's going to be a lot of games where we win 3-0 and there's going to be games where we lose 4-3. And
we're not getting battered in many games.
The games that we're losing, we're not losing by much. The games we're winning well. So that's actually helping the goal difference.
But does that not tell you that maybe that, the fact that when we're winning well, and when we're losing, it's only by a goal?
Yeah.
Does that not tell you that what's more likely to turn, those losses or the wins? You know what I mean?
I just think that, we talked about it before, but I just think his rigidity within games, his in-game management isn't quite there, and I think it costs us. And I think but
the way people talk about our football, can I just say, the way people speak about Tottenham, and the way people speak about Ange ball and all that stuff, is as if like we win 3-0 and then we lose 3-0. But that's not how. We're not getting battered. When we lose, as you say, it's very tight games a lot of the time.
Well, if you look at the Bournemouth game, for instance, they battered us, right?
Okay, we could have lost 3-0, but we didn't. But as a rule, we haven't lost by more than a goal at all this season.
No, but if you just go on the eye test, that Bournemouth game, they were absolutely smashing us, weren't they?
Yes, that's one game. I'm saying but when you take it as a rule though, because you can take one game and stuff. But I'm saying as a rule throughout the whole season, that's not a coincidence. Or I don't think it's a coincidence that we haven't lost a game by more than a goal. In general,
I just want Ange to tweak it a little bit. I just don't think it needs too much surgery. You don't have to play that one-dimensional style of football the whole game, the whole 90 minutes. You can sit back into a slight low block with an out ball, soak up a little bit of pressure, and then counter a little bit like Man City.
All right, the draw is coming up right now, people. Here we are. Mark Chapman about to draw the balls out.
It's going to be Arsenal. Put your money on Arsenal. Come on, you know it is.
Here we go. The balls are swirling.
You don't look. It's all rigged. It's rigged, mate. It's rigged.
All right.
Here we go.
We are number 4, by the way. Number 1 is Arsenal.
Here we go. Look, Spurs. It's going to be Spurs. Come on.
Arsenal. And they're at home first leg.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Number 2, I think.
He's done it.
3. That's Newcastle.
Oh, God.
We got Liverpool.
Lucky they built my house on it. Wow, it could be a final.
We want to be home for second leg.
Yeah. Oh my God, it could be. This has never happened before, guys, ever.
We're home first leg.
Nah.
We're home first leg. So
it's Liverpool then.
All right. So.
Bloody hell.
News.
Wow, I take it back. I take it all back.
News.
It's not rigged. It's not rigged.
We'll be playing Liverpool in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. Spurs will be playing the first leg at home. Ties will be played 6th of January, the first tie, it says here, and 3rd of February, the second tie. It looks like they'll be midweek. And Tottenham, first leg at home against Liverpool. So the first leg's coming soon. 6th of January. 3 weeks away. Very, very
Yeah,
soon.
I know.
Oh my God. So
I can't remember the last time that happened where we didn't draw Arsenal in a semi-final when there was the option of the 4 teams.
yeah, true. We always seem to do it. So,
Always.
reaction to drawing a Liverpool team who are top of the league at the moment.
You're happy?
I said, of all the teams, I kind of feel like Liverpool, as much as they're the best team in the left, they might be the best team for us to face.
In the left?
Best team left.
Oh, right.
Sorry, best team left in the competition.
Yeah.
In a weird way, they might be the best team for us to face because, as I said, I think Newcastle, they're going to be well up for it, and those 2 games are going to mean just as much to them as it is for us. Arsenal, they're going to have the rivalry aspect, and as well the way they defend. It's very hard for us to break them down. We've shown that in the last few times we played them, we've struggled to break them down. So will we be able to go over 2 legs and beat them, and not a one-off game? I'm not sure. Liverpool's a different case. Liverpool, the way they've changed their team in this competition over the last few in the rounds I've seen, I watched them in the last round, and they struggled against the Southampton team. I know Liverpool are brilliant, but if they rest players and they're not taking,
they're
it
more
seriously,
likely to rest players, is what you're saying. Okay,
they've got they're top of the league, right? They've got big things to fight for: league titles, Champions League football. They've got things that they're going for. Carabao Cup is not high, I don't think. Look, this is me just positive. Obviously,
I get that.
It's going to be a difficult game, whoever we play. But this game is not going to be high on their agenda, right? So we're going to go into the game, I think, and I hope anyway, we're going to go into this game full strength. Really important game. We need to get to this final. And it's going to be super important for Tottenham to kind of go full pelt in these games. And if Liverpool go into this tweaking it and they're resting players, they're not taking it seriously, I know they've got the best defence in the league, I think, on paper in terms of goals. But if you look at their games recently, since they've gotten some injuries at the back, which I don't know if are going to be back for our game, they've got, they conceded 3 against Newcastle, 3-3. They conceded 2 at home to Fulham. It was 2-2 in that game. They conceded just 2 now to Southampton in the League Cup. So they're leaking goals. And we need to be playing against a team like a Liverpool who are going to be coming at us a bit. They're going to be leaving a bit of space.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Arsenal don't do that. They play pragmatic and they play a way where they're going to say,
suits us when it's off the cuff. That's what
now,
I've noticed,
obviously, the difficulty of just seeing the draw is with second legs away, not home. I would love to have the second leg be at home. Because if we can just go to Anfield, see what we can get there, and then bring them to our place, I think we'd have a much better chance of getting something. First leg is home, which means we're going to have to take something big to Anfield. If we're not in the lead going into Anfield,
it's unlikely that we're going to win.
We're going to get something there.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a bummer that we're home first leg. But I'm not saying I'm confident we're winning, but I'm saying I actually think I would have preferred Liverpool potentially to a Newcastle or a Arsenal. But what's your reaction to
Are you happy, though, about it or not?
Am I happy about it? I don't know if I would have been happy with anyone, to be honest.
No, I know, but if you had to pick, you said you wanted Liverpool.
I said if I look,
you've got to be happy. So are you content? Are you content with that?
I'll take
content,
it.
yeah?
I guess I have to take it because I'm not happy that we're second leg away. I'm not happy about that, to be honest. But we'll tell them to take Liverpool. I think we can give them a game. I don't think we get battered over 2 legs. I don't think so. I think we'll score goals. I think we'll score goals. But what's your reaction? Obviously, Liverpool are top of the league, and they're the one consistent team right now. Are you going into this game thinking we've got no chance?
No. I actually think that this could be. Do you remember in 2017 when we won 4-1? I think it could be a high-scoring game like that where we just smother them and we can get a few goals early. Get a few goals early. I actually think that and if the game goes slightly open and there's a lot of spaces created and it gets a little bit like an FA Cup type of game, very frantic, I think that suits us. And if we can, I think in those situations we can capitalise on it. And, we've shown that, haven't we? Against Aston Villa, the game went a little bit frantic and we capitalised. Very quick goals straight away, right? Mm-hmm, exactly. That could help us. But like what you're saying is if we face a team that's more pragmatic and we struggle against a team with more disciplined, haven't we?
And Arsenal were just the best at that.
Yeah.
And so maybe in a one-off game we can catch them, but over 2 legs are we going to struggle to really assert ourselves? But against a Liverpool team, I guess the problem with Liverpool is even if we go to Anfield with a 2-goal lead, can they overturn that? Do you think
they'll bring back players though for that game, the Anfield, or do you think they'll keep it?
I don't know. I mean, they've been resting players up until now, so I don't know how they're going to approach it. To be honest, maybe they come into the semi-final and take it a lot more seriously. But the problem I have is, let's say they rest players in the first leg, we beat them 2-0 or 3-1. they go full strength in the second leg. Do you back us to hold that out? Against a rampant Liverpool team. That's the problem we're having at second leg. Do we have the mentality to go to Anfield and see out a result? Even a 3-goal deficit, are you still going there thinking, oh, we're definitely going to hold that out? That's the question mark. But which is maybe different to like a Newcastle, where if we had a 2 or 3 goal lead going to St James's, I'll be more confident than going to Anfield. But Newcastle, I know that they've one of the teams who have even longer trophy drought than us. They're going to go.
They want it though,
games.
don't they? The thing is, Newcastle will want it more than Arsenal or Liverpool. That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Maybe in a perverse way, you're right about Liverpool drawing Liverpool.
So I mean, look, I think all 3 teams, they all got their
strong teams, but
I'll imagine a Spurs Newcastle final, which means either team is going to break their trophy drought. It's to be a trophy drought playoff. Which would be mad.
Who'd you money be on in that one?
Oh God, I don't know if I could take an Arsenal final. I think it would be the best thing ever to beat them in a final. If we lose to them in a final, especially like we continue our trophy drought because we lose to Arsenal. That'll be too much. But look, we can't even talk there because we've got Liverpool coming up first. So, in terms of a bit of reaction here, what are people saying about Liverpool? Seen Liverpool live a few times. We play our best. We can beat them. That was from Boon Seng Lee. People can have different opinions, but he's trying to find all the negatives in every detail with the conversation. Oh, that's not something I should have read out. You won't be Liverpool over 2 legs. No chance. There's Robski 180. What else are people saying? So also, I guess Sunday, obviously, I don't know how much we can judge Sunday in terms of how that'll be a bearing on the cup, on the Carabao, because we're still going to have players back hopefully for that Carabao Cup game. We won't really on Sunday.
And they're kind of going full tilt for the league now, aren't they?
As well, yeah. Which but it's also even more frustrating as well that the second leg's away and not home, because the home
Does it make
leg,
that much difference, do you think?
The reason why I'm saying it makes even more difference, and maybe even more than just because they can catch us up, is because the second leg's 3rd of February. So we're going to have probably maybe even Romero back for that. Maybe Odebear back for that. Vicario outside chance. I don't know, but maybe he's got a chance of making that game.
Yeah.
He won't maybe make the first leg. The first leg. We might have Van der Ven and Bentancur and Van der Ven, Bentancur and Richarlison potentially, but not much else. But maybe come February we're gonna have a lot more of those players back potentially. So maybe we'd have more chance of going full strength. So that's and if we could do that at home rather than away, that could be more to our advantage, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
you don't think home and away all that?
No, I don't know. I mean, I know what you're saying. You want to finish at home, don't you? Because it's like the home straight, don't you? That's why you're saying that.
Yeah, I think being home second leg's always been an advantage. We've known that from big European games, especially.
I'm thinking about our last League Cup semi-finals against Arsenal. The second game was at home, and against.
See, in the 1 year before
Chelsea,
that we lost, and the second leg was away. Remember
that was it, yeah. And then 2001 we played Chelsea.
Yeah, we won at home and lost away, and then
we second leg was at home, wasn't it? We won 5-1. So yeah.
When was the last time we were in a Carabao Cup semi-final? We beat Brentford. It was only a 1-leg thing during COVID.
No, Sheffield United, wasn't it?
No. Since then, it was in COVID though. There was only 1 leg.
Right.
So Sheffield United. That's a perfect example of why away leg at home. Away leg second leg is so pivotal, because that game we won up first leg, we took the lead, made it 2-0 in the second leg, and they came back and they scored 2 goals later on because of the crowd momentum and all that stuff.
Oh, what was that game? Do you remember Pavlyuchenko scored in the last minute? What game was that? Wasn't that a League Cup?
That was a league game. It was a league.
No, there was a League Cup game, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was in the same season. We won beaten 4-2. Pavlyuchenko did score, but it wasn't last minute. Yeah.
But that was a League Cup semi-final,
not semi.
No, but there was a League Cup semi-final
Yes, that was against Burnley.
Against
Burnley, Pavlyuchenko. We won 3. Another example of why it's so good to have a.
That was away though, wasn't it? That was the away leg.
Away leg in the second leg.
Yeah. And we nearly threw that away because we went 3-0 up. No, we were 3-0 up in the first leg.
We beat them 4-1 in the first leg, and they went 3-0 up.
It's just unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just wow. It doesn't matter who's playing for us. It's the same Spursiness, isn't it?
But
you can never be sure, can you? Even with a 3-0 lead.
It's going to be massive game. All right, it's now your chance to have your say. Is the link out? The link is anyone joined? Okay, we've got some fans lined up. Let's just go through.
Brian's going to come in, I think.
Of course he is. Come on.
Come on,
Phil
Daigle.
Janut says all seasons our players individually are world class at times, but one or two of them are salesmen in the 11 every game, which causes us problems weekly. Is that the only one I've missed? Yeah, that's the only one. He's saying one or two of them are salesmen. Bit harsh, I guess. I don't know. Depends who you're talking about. Also, I want fans to call in and give their opinion on Liverpool in the semi-final. It's going to be important. Also, I want to know your opinions on what just happened in that quarter-final. Absolutely balmy, that quarter-final against Manchester United. But it's a time to celebrate. All right. Wondering why I can't see the guests because I've got
You got it on the wrong channel, haven't you?
The wrong screen. All right, let's get Brian on. There he is. Ready?
Hey.
Brian Daigle, my son.
Come on the Monday night
Simeon,
heroes.
Daniel, and JC back together.
Oh.
How are we doing? Listen, first of all, I will say it's a great day. Spurs are in a semi-final, and I also get to pull Simeon up on his Spurs knowledge because we lost to Chelsea in a Carabao Cup semi-final. That was the last semi-final.
No, when?
Yeah, that's right. That's
No, it
right.
wasn't the last
With
one.
Conte.
That was
That
Paul
was
Con-
with Conte.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
So,
There
I
you
can't
go.
believe Sim,
You're
Sim,
right.
you've let the team down here, mate.
That
Well done,
that
Daigle.
one
Well
got
done.
wiped from my memory. It just got wiped from my memory, that
all
one.
that silent assassin bingo creeping in. I got your back. I got your back.
Got him.
I think we didn't score a goal in that semi-final. That's why I probably don't remember it.
Yeah, and I
we
was
got
on
back.
both legs.
But Brian, before we get into your reaction to the semi-final draw, let's just go through that game and the quarter-final.
Yep.
I mean, how did you make through that game alive, Brian? Because my heart was absolutely on its knees during that game.
What are you talking about, Sim? It was never in doubt. Piece of piss.
Never in doubt.
Never in doubt. Mate, listen, I was watching it whilst working. 1-0, half-time. Who would have thought that second half was about to happen? A second half of chaos is all I can say. But we got the job done. I don't care how we did it. We did it, and Spurs are in a semi-final, which are words I think we all love to hear.
Yeah, incredible. And in terms of standouts for the game, who do you give your props to in that one?
I think Archie Gray was good. I think Archie Gray was very good, actually. I'm very, very happy for Solanke. We had the discussion when I was on with you on Sunday when we beat Southampton, and was asked about Solanke, and he took his second goal brilliantly, didn't he? His second goal he took very, very well. The first goal, obviously from Porro's, the keeper should have done better, but Solanke was there to put it away. As for Kulusevski, mate, I can guarantee you Daniel Levy's sitting in his seat probably going, can anyone score but him? Can anyone score but him? But he's got, mate, I'm just delighted, like I said. I couldn't watch it all like complete concentration like if I was at the yard or a weekend because it was work. But all I will say, I don't want people shouldn't be going in hard on Fraser Forster. Yes, I think he took the season of of giving and everything to the extreme with two very, very, very bad mistakes. But let's face it, he's been incredible for us. Would have been very, very costly should we have gone out. But we could just say two mistakes. They could have been costly. They weren't. And hopefully he'll be having a great game on Sunday. So, yeah, kamikaze at the end, wasn't it, from us?
Yeah, absolutely crazy. But in terms of, obviously, okay, so you didn't, fully, watch the game totally. But, Dom Solanke, is he gone? Is he still there?
Frozen.
I'm still here.
He's frozen. Are you still here? Okay, your picture froze for a minute. Dom Solanke, massive game, obviously, for Tottenham in Tottenham season. Him stepping up, getting a brace in such on a big occasion. Tottenham play again. And it seems like every time he scores, I keep asking the same question. People criticize him for not scoring, and he scores a brace. It's like, oh, what's everyone complaining about? But how big was it for him to get those two goals, and what a big performance it was from him tonight?
It was, again, he's at the moment, he's got to lead the line himself, hasn't he? There's not, I mean, you can put Son there, but it's not as effective as Son is on the left, out wide. And he had to have a big game tonight. He needed a big performance, and we got it. I think there's so much to be spoken about that. The second goal he scored, his run, his movement, his finish, that's what we want to see of him. And again, it's him creating. That second goal is all his own creating, isn't it? The first goal is doing what we want from our striker, to be there should there be any loose ends, and he put it away. But I think he needs a lot of respect tonight. He got the job done for us.
We were talking about that. We were saying the first goal was like what he's been good at this season, which is the anticipation. So as soon as that shot came in, you could see he was like running straight for the potential rebound, before all the defenders were reacting. And that's what he's good at. He's been doing that all season. His anticipation in the box, like Fox in the box type of reactions. And then me and Sim were talking about how the thing he needs to add to his game is a little bit more of like creating a chance for himself, like getting the ball out of his feet, pushing it to one side, like Kane you always used to do, like quick to the side and get a shot off quickly. And he actually did that, like a snap shot, and he did that. And so I was really pleased that he created a chance for himself in the second goal.
Brian, go on,
Sim. What was you going to
say? For tonight, for you, how big was tonight for Ange Postecoglou in terms of the direction of the season, the fans' thoughts about him, in and out, all that stuff? I don't think his job's actually in danger, even if we lost tonight. But, for a lot of people who are still Ange out before tonight,
yep.
Do you reckon that swings anyone, getting to a semi-final at least?
I think getting to a semi-final certainly helps. But I have to say, and I'm Ange in, I have to agree with what Jamie Redknapp and who was with him in the studio. Jamie Redknapp, who's the other guy in the studio?
Carragher,
thank you. When they said you're 3-0 up and he still doesn't change. At 3-0 up, especially with how we've been, shut up shop. I mean, it's all well and good now. We can say, do you know what, it doesn't matter because we got the job done. But Jamie, I agree with Carragher and...
But wait, Brian, to be fair, was today not about shutting up shop? Was that why we conceded those goals?
No, I mean, the 3 goals can't be held accountable. When you're 3-0 up, you're like, okay, right, game's done. Like we did against Southampton. 5-0 up at half-time, job done, relax, play it easy, conserve your energy, see the game out. You can't, listen, the 2 goals no one can ever predict. And especially the third goal as well with the bad set piece, or the set piece goal, sorry. But you've got to say, right, let's just shut up shop. And we invited it all on ourselves. Literally 3-0, game done, changed.
Yeah, but you're never quite... Come on, this is Spurs we're talking about. You're never sure, even at 3-0, are you? Like, how many times have we seen this?
JC, you're right, brother. You're right. Yeah. That's the only thing. What I'm saying, Sim, is it doesn't help with the fans saying that his game management and style of play just never ever change. Jamie Carragher was right. You watch teams, and at 3-0 up, the big teams, they shut shop, say game done, let's just see it out. There's no problem when you're 3-0 up going, do you know what? Let's just shut up shop and make it easy on ourselves. Obviously, like we said, we can't predict those goals that we conceded today, but the game management there could have been better. But like I said, Ange has got us into a semi-final. That's the one sticking point I have with that game. I do agree with them there. When we are so far in ascendancy and the game is done, just take the pressure out of the game.
How much credit? I know we conceded 3 goals today, but off the back of winning, we beat Southampton 5-0, and then going into a big game, quarterfinal. I know Man United also changed players, but we go into this game with a back line of Gray, Forster, Gray, Spence, Dragoshin, and Porro, and I know Forster made 2 absolute clangers, but in those last 20 minutes, we were under serious pressure, weren't we? And I thought we actually we defended quite well in those last 20 minutes in terms of I don't remember too many. I don't remember too many clear-cut chances Man United have. We had to dig deep to kind of get through that moment, and obviously we ended up getting the 4th goal. So Gray especially, 18-year-old centre back, and Spence as well coming in for another big start for him. How much credit do you give those 2 players?
I am delighted for Archie. I am delighted for Archie Gray. I really am. Because obviously we've all wanted to see him in midfield. He's been put in defence. That relationship with Dragoshin is building. I think it was probably Archie Gray's best performance for us. And I forgot to mention when you said who did well, and I mentioned Solanke and Gray. Jed Spence has had another. He's grabbed that opportunity, hasn't he? It was like, if you get the opportunity, definitely. You've got the shirt, you got to grab it and see what you can do. He's waited and bided his time. he's got this opportunity, and boy, is he trying to grab it with both hands, isn't he?
I think he was the man of the match for me, if I'm being honest with you, because he looks so composed. Also, think like for a player that's been frozen out by different managers as well, to have that dent in the confidence, to come in and look as though you've been playing all season, like that takes a lot of, I don't know, it takes a lot of substance.
Not that just JC. I saw at one point he was telling Son to start bombing forward. I'm like, bloody hell, you got some balls on you. 2 games you played like from the start, and you're like, go move forward to Sonny. But yeah, like I said, he has grabbed it, and it's right now. I know it's only 2 games, but he's probably up in the last 2 games. He's the standout fullback, isn't he?
Yeah.
If you look at those 2 games, obviously it's too wide a gauge to say all season, but in the last 2 games, he is certainly, when it comes to everyone being fully fit, it's like, right, who do I drop? Is Spence undroppable? Based on these 2 games, I'm not saying he's undroppable, but when it comes to the choice, and I think now, maybe when everyone is back fit now, let's say when we've got everyone fit, maybe now he can start using Archie Gray in midfield rather than putting him at right back to rest Porro, because he knows Jed Spence can put in these kind of performances.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, reaction then to getting Liverpool in the semi-final, playing the second leg away from home as well. First of all, who did you want? Was it Newcastle? Was it Arsenal? Was it Liverpool? And how do you rate our chances?
Well, it's the filth, but for 2 reasons. One, I just having them in the final, I don't know if my heart could take it. Honestly, like obviously beating, like Sim, you echoed the words that I've been saying. If we beat Arsenal in a final, it's probably the best feeling we could ever have. But if you lose to Arsenal in a final, you'd want to switch your phone off and just shut up shop for a week or so. And the other reason I wanted the filth is obviously not. This is not for me. This is for the fans. Going up to Liverpool on a Wednesday or Tuesday in January later isn't the best. Where Arsenal would have been a lot easier. But you look at the draw now, and like you said, Liverpool are going to be challenging on all 4 fronts. Obviously, is it a red herring, or is it the goose that laid the golden egg? Because they may rotate heavily. We'll have to wait and see. The most important thing, as I said at the beginning, we're in a semi-final. I think if I had to place it in order, it probably would have been Arsenal first in the semis, Newcastle, then Liverpool. So you look at it. I hadn't looked at it the way you said it before I came on, and maybe Liverpool is the one to get.
Yeah, and look, got some big games coming up. Hopefully as well, by the time we play Liverpool, we'll have some players back, right? And that could really help. You know, hopefully we're not going to be so kind of hamstrung with all these player injuries like we are right now. And that could be, go a long way to maybe seeing how we can do in that game. And I guess maybe on Sunday as well, we'll see.
See, from when you do the injury, when is the first and second leg? When have they been?
The first leg is 6th of January, that midweek, and the second leg is 3rd of February.
Oh, my sister's birthday. Okay, so what I was saying is, when you've been doing the injury updates of players, are any players should be, from what we've been hearing, available for either leg?
For the first leg, potentially Richarlison, definitely Bentancur. And maybe Van de Ven, but we don't know that. Maybe, but off chance. Second leg, Van de Ven definitely should be. Richarlison definitely should be. Romero probably has an outside chance. Vicario, unlikely, but you never know. So yeah, hopefully by those 2 legs. I mean, who else we got injured? Obviously, Doggy was not playing today.
Don't forget, come the second leg is February the 3rd. We'll have all those new players from the millions we're spending in January.
Exactly. We're going to have all the new signings. Yamin Hyuk, what are we talking? Yamin Hyuk.
Yeah, exactly.
What's happened to Solomon?
Solomon is on loan at Leeds. All right, look, but Brian, are we going to make the final? Prediction?
Mate, I've said all I care about is the cups. I want a cup. I want this drought over and done with. So I'm going to say it's lucky for Spurs when the year ends in 5.
5. Come on. Come on, Brian.
Close enough.
Good to see you, mate. Cheers.
See you later on, guys. Pleasure, brother.
Yeah, cheers, Dave. See you, matey. Speak soon.
He commented on Timo Werner's absence, and he said he was sick. He said it's just the way we're going. It's just he woke up this morning with a fever, and the doctor went and saw him. He had a high fever, and we had to rule him out. So him, Solanke, Mikey Moore, I think there's been another one who have gone down with a fever recently.
Crazy.
So
toughen up, lads, will you?
He said, on summing up the current situation, he says, I mean, I don't roll up to game day looking for good news, let me tell you. So, yeah, it's incredible. Like I said, this is 10 players off the senior list, and it's ridiculous the fact we're still putting in these levels of performances with these guys, Archie and Jed, with these kind of guys. I mean, we're getting, I believe, some real enormous growth in this period that maybe won't be evident until down the track. But I just think there's not much. There's so much sort of good stuff in there at the moment, even though it's a tough period still.
Can you say that again?
Huh?
I'm joking.
Do you think there's a lot of good stuff to
come?
Moment?
I just think, like I said before, like it's volatile with our performances and our results. You know, right now we're going to string probably a few good results together, but it's quite possible we could flip and we could, you know, go on a run of bad results. So, you know, that's just how it's going to be. It's just symptomatic of the way we play. The key is to get not too excited when we win, you know, and not too downhearted when we lose a couple of games. You know, to stay balanced.
So winning the
equanimity is the word. Equanimity.
Winning the league.
Huh?
Winning the league.
Yeah.
A couple of super chats. Let's go through. Jory says we won't win anything if the game plan is for Forster to play short under pressure.
Yeah.
Big up, John. You two have a show and call it Contrarian versus Contrarian.
Did you notice when he made those gaffes, he started booting it long?
Yeah, he
did. For the first
there.
time the whole season.
I think it was they probably needed to at that point. Deck W says, Levy thought we won today. Sim, please read it out loud. It's Levy's fault we won today. Do you agree with that?
Did you see Levy's face? He looked at you. He actually looked all right, didn't he? He looked pretty
I'm
content.
sure he was a bit happier today. Scorpion Fans for Life says, come on, you Spurs. John, how would Lucas have done in this team?
Do you know what? I think this is the perfect team for Lucas. I think he'd be brilliant, but not on the wing. I think he was wasted on the wing. He would have been brilliant through the middle.
In the middle three?
Mora should have. If you think Mora is brilliant through the middle, but no one ever thought to play him in the middle. If you think about all his best goals were through the middle. All his best plays are through the middle, weren't they?
Mourinho played him through the middle for a bit.
For a bit, but not the whole time, you know. So he's been judged as this kind
Madison's position.
Yeah, he should have been more of like a Madison.
Like
He'd been brilliant.
Yeah,
he would have been superb, especially for Ange.
Interesting.
Good question. I've often thought that late at night.
He's still thinking about it. Lucas, bring him home. You know, you got called up to the Brazil squad.
Mate, I still, you know, his last goal for us, the last game, it was world class, wasn't it?
All right. Let's keep the guests rolling and let's get Arian on the show.
Do it. Let's do it.
Not sure about the red.
Make your bed.
Again, always with the bed sheets. I sleep so I don't touch the red. You know what I'm saying? I sleep this way. I've said it a million times.
I was going to mention it. He had it planned. I see. Got you.
Oh.
Big up to you, Arian. Look. We'll get into your reaction about the semi-final draw, but talk to me about the game and what your thoughts on it were.
I think I think we won 4-3. I think Ange did not coach a 4-3. I think he coached maybe a 4-1 or a 4-0, and obviously Fraze wasn't having it. But we got over the line, and I think look, great. We got over the line, semi-final, Liverpool. Let's just do it. Everybody's excited about the prospect of hopefully winning a trophy. Like Ange says himself, he usually wins things in his second season. He has up until now. So let's just hope for the best.
What do you think of the criticism that Brian was saying? You know, 3-0 up, you shut up shop, you get Forster to boot it long, and you know you don't have those problems. Was Ange part of the problem as to why we didn't see out that game?
Not only do I don't think that to be the case. Also, second, like for the second goal, the Forster was trying to boot it long when Ahmad was pressuring him. He wasn't trying to, and he had booted it long several times that game. When you said just right before I got on, you're like, oh, for the first time after the two gaps, he finally booted long. That wasn't the first time he'd done it. And also, there's a quote from Ange in the interview. I have it right here. It says, so the question was like, the interview asked him, do you think your tactics are sometimes the cause for error and the calamities at the back? And he goes, you're suggesting that in those situations I tell players to make those mistakes. I don't. There are situations where we don't need to do that. So he's going there saying, you know, one way or the other, you have to pass it short and you have to play. He's saying you don't always need to do that. We don't always need to play tricky. We can get it out. We can boot it long. I don't think no one's an absolutist. There's always going to be situations where you have to hit it long and win the 50-50. So I wouldn't blame that on Ange. I think it's a bit silly to blame it on anybody besides Forster. It was just calamitous from him, and we got lucky to not pay for it.
But instead of like talking about negative, going into a quarter final with the injuries that we have, playing a back line of Gray, Spence, Forster, Dragoshin, being out on our feet, playing all the same players it seems at the moment every game. Do you think and Ange deserves a lot of credit for the performance he was able to get out of that team, and the fact that we were 3-0 up, against a team like Man United under a new manager, and we got to a semi-final. Like, shouldn't this be like a real indication
100%.
of how good of a manager Ange is?
100%, and he said it himself in that same interview. He says just the energy that we have with we have 10 players unavailable, and every single game the players are taking the game to the opposition. No one's backing down. We're playing the free-flowing offensive football, and we were 3-0 up. We absolutely deserved to be 3-0 up. At 3-0 up, I don't think anybody was going to be there and saying, "Oh, we're lucky to be 3 up." I don't think anybody would have made that argument. We absolutely, we didn't have like 70% of the ball or anything, but that doesn't always matter because every time we looked forward, we went forward. We looked very dangerous every single time. We looked like we were going to score. Solanke had an absolute masterclass, I think, at the top, just displayed like we said a while ago. I think against the Brentford game, it's like he was doing what it was like when other teams have a number 9. You're like, that's what it feels like. That's what we're watching. They're always can hold up the play, poach it, get something out of nothing. And he was doing that brilliant. I think he deserved man of the match. Not that he was the only highlight. I think we always mentioned Kulusevski and Spence. I think they were also phenomenal. But the results we're getting with just the injury ravaged squad that we have, like, it's important to mention the last time we had this injury crisis under Ange just last season, we went winless in 5. So we've improved even in that aspect, that we're dealing with injury crises better. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But we've just got it to a semifinal. We've won 2 games in a row, scoring 9 goals. There's a lot to be happy about. I really think, the more the players keep coming back, I think we're going to get better and better, and hopefully we do spend millions and millions in January.
When was the last time we won 2 games in a row? It's been a while, isn't it?
I don't know. I actually have no idea. I can look right here. I've got FootMap pulled up.
Sim? Stato? When was the last time we won 2 games in a row?
Well, in all competitions,
yeah,
I think it was where we beat West Ham and RZ together. I think.
No, it was Man City and Aston Villa back to back.
City and Villa. But in the league.
No, it was the 2-1 and then the West Ham. I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a Villa. You say the 2
Villa and then the City 2-1.
Yeah. Cup.
That was the last time. In October, going into November.
Yeah. So obviously we know we need to keep that consistency. But are you seeing? Ange says what he's seeing from the team at the moment. How we're getting through these games and getting big performances from young players like Archie and Spence in this tough period is only going to kind of, when maybe you won't see the real benefits of what's happening till later down the line. Is that how you see it?
Here's like, when we had Mourinho and Conte and we were flying in like the Mourinho season, I really felt that season I think under Mourinho, we all know the game, it fell apart at Anfield where Bergwijn missed his chances. That was kind of the game where and it always felt like to me under those coaches that if it wasn't that season, it was never. You know what I'm saying? With Ange, I feel like there's always going to be an upward trajectory. I don't leave any game or season thinking, oh, we're never going to get back to it. Even if Ange gets sacked tomorrow, I think he's left the squad in a place that is going to be progressive going down the line. So the thing is, I think these tough periods are always going to reap dividends for us in the future. That's what I think what Ange is also saying. These tough periods are very difficult on us fans, and it's the pain of a painful rebuild, but it pays out. We've seen multiple clubs do this, and it pays out massively. So I'm very optimistic about how these young players are putting in, particularly Archie Gray. I mean, how good is Archie Gray? How good is Archie Gray? Seriously, every single time we've seen him playing a position that's not his, and he has absolutely stepped up more than pretty much any other player. He's just doing 18 years old. He's younger than me. He's younger than me out on that field, and he's playing at center back, and he's not even a center back, and he's doing a phenomenal. Doesn't look out of place one bit. I mean, I can't say anything besides that. He's a phenomenal footballer.
Arian, can I ask you a question, mate? What would be your targets for Ange this season in terms of league position or, let's say, trophy wins? What would make sure that he's secured his position for next year? Like, what do you think is the threshold?
What do I think? Like, if I was Levy, or what do I think Levy would hold? Like,
well, both. Let's just go for both. Like, what do you think he needs to do to hit his targets to keep his job for next year? And what do you think Levy expects?
I think if we get to really deep in the Europa League and we get top 6, it'll be enough for Levy. I think if we get 5th, no matter what happens in the Cups, because 5th is probably going to be Champions League, that's always going to be enough for a Spurs manager to stay in the job. I think if we just qualify for Europe or our Champions League, Ange will stay in. I don't think it's like his job's going to be in danger if he finishes even in Europa League spots. For me personally, I probably wouldn't sack him unless we're in threat of relegation. That's just me. I want to stay with him as long as I can.
So if we were like 13th, 14th, you would still keep him for next year?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
I would. I know I'm going to get
Why?
called lots of names because I think the tough period. Okay, I'll say this. I think if we are 13th or 14th, it'll be the product of things that are not really in Ange's control, like the squad. Not saying that he wouldn't be able to get better results if we were to play more pragmatic, but I think if you give this type of football time and you give him young players and you give him time to grow those players, I think we're going to get dividends because you can invest in a project with two things. You can either invest with it with money or you can invest in it with time. So if you're not going to invest in money, you have to invest the time. Otherwise, you're not going to get anything. That's kind of the way I look at it.
You said you weren't.
Yeah,
you said about
that.
the squad. So what's the problem with the squad? He was happy with the transfer
thin.
window.
He was
happy with the transfer window in the summer, right?
Sure. Yeah, but that doesn't mean every problem was solved. It's not about the players we did buy. It's about the players we didn't buy. So it's not that the players we bought are not good. Archie Gray is a great player. Bergvall's a great player. But Solanke's a great player. But we didn't get another center back. Now Archie Gray has to play center back. We didn't get another midfielder, and Bissouma is ridiculously inconsistent. Like it's those, and we didn't get another left back, and now Udogie's playing basically every game. It's those issues that are plaguing the squad. Not that the players we bought are like not good enough. I don't think that's the case. So I think if you give it time, and you give him a few more windows to get a deeper squad, I think we can pull it off.
Since obviously that Bournemouth game where Ange out was really at probably the loudest, it's fair to say.
Yeah.
We've drawn against Rangers, we've beaten Southampton 5-0, and now we're through to the Carabao Cup semi-final against Man United. So, how much time do you think he has bought himself with these recent results in terms of preventing that kind of situation where a lot of people are calling for it to happen again?
I think hopefully with the fans he's bought a little bit because I think the game against Liverpool at the weekend, it's one of those where it's not going to be the end of the world if we lose. I don't think people are going to hold him by to the sword if we lose against the best team in the country. And he'll buy himself a little bit of time, probably get to January, get a little I think he'll see out the season now unless we get really disastrous, which hopefully we wouldn't because the injuries are.
Do you think we're through the worst of it now? Are you hopeful?
I do think
the worst
so.
of it?
I do think we're through the worst of it. I don't think we're gonna have periods where we're like winless in 4 like we were from Roma to Chelsea. I think we're through the absolute worst of it, and that's kind of. We're through it, and if he survived that, I don't think there's going to be anything else he can't survive. Especially like I said with January coming up, and we could just use 1 or 2 players, and then the injuries coming back, freshen up the squad, and then we'll have enough to kind of fire on all 3 fronts or 4 fronts.
And to end the cool reaction to getting Liverpool in the semi-finals, first of all, was that the one you wanted, or was that the one you wanted to most avoid? And do you think we have a chance?
I really didn't have a prep. Every time I was thinking which one would I want, I could think of 30 reasons why I wouldn't want them and 30 reasons why I would want them. Because Newcastle are obviously the worst side, but they also play pretty much the exact type of football that is like antithetical to Ange ball, and they could get through us. And also they're going to be right up for it. St. James's Park is a difficult ground for us to go to. And then on the other hand, Arsenal, we all know everything with Arsenal. We have a terrible record at the Emirates. They play the most defensive terrorist football I've ever seen in my life. And then Liverpool are Liverpool. They're but also they rotate. But the thing with rotating is they like the game after, like in that week, they have Man United on January 5th, which I guarantee you what's going to happen is their game's going to get postponed and ours against Newcastle isn't going to get postponed. And then they have, after that game, let's assume they play it, they have us, and then they have Accrington Stanley. I don't think they're going to rotate to beat Accrington Stanley at the weekend. I'm not super optimistic that they're gonna rotate heavily, but maybe if they're tired from other games, and they have way more games than we do in the coming 3 weeks. So, obviously I don't hope any injuries on players, but they're likelier to get injuries than we are.
Why Accrington Stanley? Because isn't the second leg's in 3rd of February? I thought.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the first leg they have us, and then the game after us.
Got you.
So I don't know I don't think they'd be resting anybody for Accrington Stanley. I think they'd be like, okay, we'll play the youth against Accrington Stanley if anything, and then we'll be ready to go against Spurs. And that's especially if they get their game in the weekend postponed, since it is on a Sunday. We might be, seeing a very fresh fit. I don't know, maybe because if we play on January 6th, their game's on January 5th.
No, it's the week of the January 6th. Is that midweek?
Okay. So, all right. So if it probably won't get postponed, but I don't think they're gonna. I'd be surprised if they rotate, to be honest with you. So that's the only concern. But we might have a day. If it doesn't get postponed, then we'd have a day of rest on them.
How significant is the fact that it's second leg away instead of at home?
I don't know. I mean, the thing with Anfield is like if we can somehow scrap a 1 or 2-0 win at home, or 2-1 or 3-1, if we can get a win at home, we don't always get like we score at Anfield. We just don't win. What happens at Anfield isn't that we get dominated into the floor. It's always like we score 3 and then Lucas Moura passes it to Jota in the last minute.
Hey, stop it.
So it's stuff like that. That is Anfield's cursed more than it is that we just get dominated. We always score at Anfield, so it's not. We just need to not do terribly. We can lose, but you know, we need to just control how terrible that loss
Eric
is at
Edman.
Anfield.
Eric Edman. What was our score at Anfield last year? It was 4-0, and then we got 2 late goals. And we could have got back in that game if we scored a few chances. I remember
that one under Ryan Mason. I'll never forget where we were 3-0
oh my
down.
God.
Oh my. And then he was like, "It's always this place. It's always here." On the touchline.
Okay. Arian, brilliant to see you as always, mate. Lovely to chat to you. And we'll see you all very, very soon.
See you very soon. And as always, come on, you Spurs!
Come on! Some more quotes, I guess, from Ange talking about on Tottenham boss on playing out from the back, leading to errors. Says, look, it's fair to say in 26 years, there's been a few of them, but I've always felt the pros well outweigh the cons of those kind of things. And those moments are rare, but when they happen, obviously, they kind of stand out. And today there was obviously 2. And like I said, I think the first one sort of effective Fraser for the next period for us. It's still, I don't think we could be a team we are if we didn't maintain our conviction around our beliefs. I know people will say, well, just don't take any risks, and all that sort of stuff. But then we wouldn't be scoring 4 and 5 goals and 4 and 5 goals. I mean, it's the hardest thing in the game to do, score goals, and we're doing it with bare bones of a squad. I think it's a massive credit to this group of players that we're performing at that level. So, what's your reaction to that? Do you think the pros outweigh the cons in terms of how?
I don't know. I've been saying it for a few weeks that he needs to mix it up a little bit. You don't have to go short every time. You can just go long. You don't have to be so rigid with that. And it did come to haunt us a little bit today. But I understand the main point he's making there is if you stretch it out over a long period of time, playing the short balls will progress into more chance creation because you're not just launching it long every time. So I do understand that, but I could see the warning signs even in the last few games just going short with Forster. But
1 sec, okay.
Sim's just texting his.
Just trying to get a title over.
Talk amongst yourselves, everyone.
As well, 1 sec. I need to send this over. We'll get the next guest on in a moment. 1 sec. All right, let's get Raj on the show.
Raj,
thanks for calling in, mate. How are we doing today?
Yeah, good.
It was a brilliant day, right? You probably had your heart in your mouth for a lot of that game.
Oh, yes. I was in the pub and had a lot of Man United supporters behind me, giving it the old Spursy after their comeback. But yeah, we held it out.
Who do you think stood out today in the game?
I have to say, Jed Spence. I saw him today, and what a performance I thought. He really stood out. I mean, he played. He's shown he can play left back, right back, and I think he's got to be given a run in the team now.
Do you think that has kept his place in the team, or what?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, absolutely. It was his play. At one point, we had Porro and Spence literally in the midfield, and it was nervy at night because Fernandez was getting behind us, and I was sure they were going to break us down, but
They held
we
firm.
held it out.
Yeah.
But Jed Spence and Hulu, well, he's been our star player, so you've got to wrap him up in cotton wool because he's a the top player. You know.
What's your reaction to the semi-final draw, Raj?
Yeah, I'm sort of glad we avoided Arsenal, but I don't think we've ever played Liverpool in a semi-final. But if we can get a good lead from the first leg, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, that
But
could be
I
good,
think,
especially
if we're going to play this way, so attacking and leading and spend, I think we need to sign a top defender to partner Van der Ven.
Agreed.
Similar to what Liverpool did when they signed Van Dijk. Because if you remember, they were getting, they came to Wembley, we beat them 4-1. They were so inconsistent.
Good game. That was a tipping
point. And then
point,
they made that move to sign Van Dijk.
That was
and
like,
I think
for me,
that's what we need.
For me, that was a sliding doors moment because we were well ahead of Liverpool at that point, weren't we? And they made that extra investment to kick them on, and then Levy just didn't want to push us on. And that was like, they turned into a superpower, and then we started to like decline after that. But that 4-1 game was like the absolute tipping point between the two clubs, I think. By the way, the last time Liverpool and Spurs met was in 1972-73 UEFA Cup. Liverpool advanced on away goals after a 2-2 draw.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Thanks for that, Johnny.
No worries.
Thanks for that, yeah. But, I think, well, good for Hulu and Spence today. I think they were top today. But Archie Gray as well. He's holding his own. I don't know what his position is going to be going forward because he's playing everywhere really, and he's doing well. So, it's good. It's good. The young players are showing their stuff. So good.
All right, Raj.
Good having.
Appreciate your call as always, mate. Thanks for calling in, and we'll speak to you very soon.
Okay, cheers. All the best. Come on,
all the best.
Come on.
Turn your phone landscape next time, Raj.
It's all right.
It's all right. I'm just joking. Don't worry. It's all good.
Don't listen to Johnny.
No. He's TikTok optimized, isn't he, Raj? Who's this one?
Next up.
Who's this?
A very special guest.
How did you get home so quick?
Fresh off the terraces. Let's get him on.
Hello, matey.
What a mad game today. First of all, talk to me about what it was like being at the game and the feeling it was like in the stands.
What's going on, guys? Big up to John Cooper in the studio. Big up to you, Sim. I'm getting a lot of texts. I'm hearing a lot of people saying about the reaction to the Son corner from you, Sim.
Oh man, it was just a massive explosion of relief and just like
did he mean it, Ben?
Stress relief as well. Sonny's quoted, by the way, saying it was his first goal he scored direct from a corner since elementary school. He said.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
So there you go. Man, yeah, I kind of lost it a bit when we scored that corner because I really thought we weren't going to hang on. But what was it like in the stands? Was there a feeling like we weren't going to get through this?
You know, as I walked into the stadium, you could sense the atmosphere straight away. Fans were singing. You could hear it just walking up to the stadium, the atmosphere coming out and the atmosphere that stadium was generating. And once you got in, it was literally like a cauldron from the start. And you got into the stands, full voice, everyone. The concourses were packed with people singing. I mean, I haven't seen the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium like that pre-game for a long time. So you already got the sense of occasion. And I said to David, who was sitting next to me, I've got a really good feeling about today. And then suddenly 3-0 up just after the second half starts. 55 minutes, we were 3-0 up. Only Tottenham can manage a game like that. Yeah. Only Tottenham can manage a game like that. Yeah. And when it got back to 2-2 with those Fraser Forster fuck-ups, I mean, nobody in that stadium I thought we were going to hang on to that. I don't think anybody thought we were going to hang on to that. I don't know how we did, to be honest. I really don't. But Sonny pulled us out.
I know he pulled a rabbit out of the hat, didn't he? That was shades of what year was that with the Man City game? Weren't we 3-0 up and they were down to 10 men? Was it 2004? Do you remember that?
Yeah, against in the FA Cup. It looked like it was going to be classic. It looked like it was going to be one of those classic Tottenham embarrassing Spursy moments where we've given up a 3-goal lead. But to be fair, credit to the team, because after those screw-ups from Forster, we did kind of sharp shop for a bit, didn't we? And I thought we defended quite well.
Shut up shop. Does that exist as Spurs?
Yeah, maybe not sharp shop's a good word, but I thought we did contain United to long shots at that point.
I thought for the majority of the game we contained United. I don't think they really hurt us too much. It was literally just our own doing. It's our Spurs creating their own downfall once again, and luckily we managed to see through it. And I thought the first half was a really boring game. I thought it was like two poor teams going at each other. We were 1-0 up, but I don't know if we deserved to be 1-0 up. But second half we came out a bit on fire. We were creating chances, and I thought on balance of play we more than deserved that win today.
Who stood out for you in terms of individual performance?
I thought Jed Spence put in an unbelievable performance again at left back, really proving Ange Postecoglou wrong. Pape Sarr and Bissouma from the middle of the park, I thought they were really solid. Particularly Bissouma was making so many important blocks and interceptions and challenges to stop Man United springing on us. But look, you can't look past Dom Solanke and Son Heung-min for what they did today. Solanke had some sort of different energy about him today, something that we haven't seen over the past couple of weeks. And that goal from Son Heung-min, I mean, what the hell was that? What the hell was that? Straight from the corner.
Did he mean it?
What's he meant?
Did he mean
you know what, Tim? You know what? You know what? I'm going to tell you this now. Over the last couple of games, Maddison has been trying this. He's been trying to put it straight on the keeper and been trying to put it in the back of the net from a corner. Suddenly, we've actually done it. I can't believe we've actually done it. It took Son Heung-min to do it.
Bournemouth, he nearly did one, didn't he, Maddison?
He's done it twice. He did it twice against Bournemouth.
And yeah, Kepa had to be his best to keep it out. So maybe it's something they'd be.
Maybe they're having a little giggle on the training ground to see who could get one first. Like something like that.
What a moment to do it, because as we say, under serious pressure, and we just needed something to just drag us out of it. And that moment,
you were saying we need a fourth because we're not going to hang on to this.
Yeah, we need that fourth, and even then we conceded a third after, and that the stress came back. And all right, so let's talk about the good, but in terms of the bad, Fraser Forster, we spoke about screw ups. But Ange, on his press conference today, was asked about how we play out from the back and is it causing mistakes. He said, for me, yes, that can happen, but the pros far outweigh the cons in terms of our approach. And yes, we have screw ups like we did today, but it also allows us to be a team that can, score 4 and 5 goals in a game, and that's why we do it. So, what do you think about that response?
Look, I think there's definitely truth to what he's saying, and I think when you're talking about Fraser Forster, I'm not going to stand here and start criticising him. I know he's done terribly today, and big mistakes. But look, we've got through it. We won the game, and since coming in for Vicario, I think he's done all of us proud. I think he's played really well. One bad game out of the 8 or 9 or whatever, however many he's played so far. So you got to give him a bit of a pass, because I think he's been brilliant so far.
Yeah, fair enough. And even before the goals conceded, he made a brilliant save from Xerxes, and it looked like it was going to be a good day for him. But unfortunately,
the one with his feet was so awkward. What was that at 3-2? And he saves it.
It's like a
imagine if he whiffed that. Imagine if he aired that and it went in. That would have been like.
It was like a centre back hoofing the ball clear. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, like a goalkeeper saving a shot from 25 yards. But I guess this is my point of Forster. It'll probably take him so long to get down. He thought that's probably the best way of me saving that shot.
I was dreading a penalty shootout. I had visions of that penalty shootout at 3-2, and I had visions of Fraser Forster against Fulham. So luckily, it didn't come down to that.
So is your takeaway today, in terms of how he performed? Are you delighted with the performance, or was it more like, again, showing how we can't manage games? Like, what do you take away from that game?
I think, look, I thought we were fairly solid. I thought, like I said, I think it was just individual errors, particularly from Fraser Forster, that really let us down today. So I thought we managed the game really well. We created chances. We weren't at our best by any stretch of the imagination, but look, it's a cup tie, it's a quarter-final. It was all about just getting into the next round. I don't care how we played today. I don't care any narratives about, Spurs were Spursy. We were trying to give the game away. Who the hell cares? Spurs are in the semi-finals. We play Liverpool. It's going to be a really tough encounter, but who the hell cares how we played today? We're into the next round.
Exactly.
So, what's your reaction to the semi-final draw? Like, was it your least one you wanted, or
100%.
was it one you think we can? Yeah, is the one that was the bottom of your list?
100% bottom of my list. I was saying, just give me Arsenal. I think we can have the beating of Arsenal at the moment with the way they're playing. Liverpool, obviously top of the league, going really well. Maybe they can rest a couple of players. Who knows? They rested some last night, but it was against Southampton, so you never know. With them going for the Champions League and with them going for the Premier League, you never know what kind of Liverpool team will turn up. So, look, we've beaten Man City, we've beaten Man United. Why can't we go and beat Liverpool in the next round?
Beating all the Northerners. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Love it.
We're doing a Northern tour, people.
And so, where does that result? If it, I don't know if it changes anything, but where does that leave you with where we're sitting with Ange at the moment? And since the Bournemouth game, where was probably the height of where Ange out was probably at his worst or lowest. We've drawn with Rangers away, albeit not a great performance. We've beaten Southampton 5-0. We've now beaten United, getting to a cup semi-final. So, what's your feeling on that at the moment?
My feeling hasn't changed really too much. I think. You're looking at the form over the past year. I don't think it's good enough, in my opinion. You're looking at some tactical decisions. Hasn't been good enough. But I'm very, very happy with the way we're going. To talk about sacking him, I think, is just way over the top. And I don't think we should be doing that. We need to be sticking with it. But there's clear problems there. But he's managing it well at this moment in time. He is managing it well. And to have 10 first-team players out and get to a Carabao Cup semi-final against a Man United side with a new manager, they haven't had that new manager bounce, which they've hoped for. But look, we're in the semi-final. We beat Southampton last game 5-0. So we just got to see how we go from here. If this keeps going on an upward trajectory, then everyone's going to be 100% behind Ange. So it's up to him to see how he manages through this. And look, 10 injuries today. I know Man United didn't play the strongest team. And when I saw those lineups, I was like, look, surely we've got to win this today. Yeah. When I saw those lineups, I was like, come on, guys.
Yeah, but we had a backline of Gray, Spence, Forster. The excuses were there for us to not win as well.
No, 100%. But you're looking at the United lineup. They're not at their strongest when their first lineup out. Let's be honest. Man United have been poor so far this season, even with Ruben Amorim. So when they had a weakened team, Amad Diallo not in the team, who also has been smashing it out for them, and I was really worried about coming up against him. You're looking at a front three of who? Anthony, Xerxes and Højlund.
No, it was Højlund, Bruno, and Anthony front three. I thought Bruno had a
Højlund,
game, actually.
When I saw Anthony in that team, I was like, we just have to beat these lot today. And when we were 3-0 up, I was like, yeah, all right. And then it was just classic Spurs, wasn't it? Just holding on.
Clutching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Can bring these nights to you.
Yeah. Ben, what do you reckon? I was saying clutching defeat from the jaws of victory, isn't it? That's Spurs. What do you think about
but
this?
we actually got the victory today.
I know, but it's like it's looking that way, though, wasn't it? Like that's Spurs, though, isn't it?
It was like Spursy
classic.
That
should be our new motto instead of Order for Sir.
Chuck it away, and we just fought against it.
Ben, what do you think of this? That the idea that because we're not fighting for fourth, really, like realistically at the moment anyway, do you think that might in a kind of weird bizarre way actually help us in the cups, and that's probably what we really need at the moment, just have a good put all our eggs into the cup competitions? Because I was just saying to Sim that if you think about our league position in the cups that we have won, the FA Cup 91, 99, 2008, we're actually languishing in, I think, mid-table for all of those seasons. Do you think in a kind of weird paradoxical way this might actually help us?
I don't think so, because I think when you're looking at Ange Postecoglou, when you're looking at the players, I think they'll back their own ability to get that top four spot, even though we are quite far away at the moment. I mean, it's not insurmountable. You're looking at, the form of anyone in the league right now. Everyone has got a chance to get it. Anyone that goes on a run, I think, puts themselves in a really good opportunity to go and get that top four this year. You look at Forest fourth at the moment, and I don't think Forest are going to finish fourth. You've got Man City falling off a cliff. You've got everyone else just up and down, up and down, up and down. So I think they'll back themselves to do it. And I think I don't think it has any bearing on it, to be honest. I really don't. I think when you're looking at those seasons with One Day Ramos and with George Graham, we had no chance in hell to get top four or anything like that. We were a mid-table team at best. I do think you're looking at the team now and the squad of players that we have. I don't think we're the fourth best team in terms of squad in the league, but with Man City dropping off and a few teams just up and down, there's an opportunity for us, I think.
Where's your hunger at though? Do you think would you rather see us finish top 4 or win a trophy or win a League Cup? Would you say if you had to pick?
I mean, at this moment in time, I'd probably say I'd rather us win the trophy. But if that's a detriment to the league and we're going to finish like below mid-table and below 7th, I don't think that's a good season. Like, you can't tell me a good season is finishing 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, or 11th and winning a Carabao Cup. I don't think that's a good season.
I would take it though.
Look, we would take it because we're so starved of it. We can take it because we're so starved of it. But when you're looking at the bigger picture, it's not actually a good season.
Not a good season, but
Andrew said in his press conference, we're in a semi-final of a cup competition, which is progress because we didn't get to one
It is
last
progress.
season.
It is progress because we got knocked out in the second round last year or third round.
yeah, but we're 10th.
Yeah, but that can change.
Yeah, but it's very
That can
tight.
change. Yeah, I guess so. I was just saying, like, you know, it's volatile, our results. So if we go on a little run, it'll be straight back up there again. The feel-good factor will come back, won't it? But then if we got a few
the problem
results
is we got Liverpool this weekend.
yeah, that's it. Yeah. Luckily, he's got some sort of credit from the last 2 games, hasn't he? You know, he sort of he stacked some credit in the last 2 games for that, just before that Liverpool
I think they're
game.
sticking with it. I think they're sticking with it regardless, even if we go on a few bad runs now. I said after the Luton game, and I stuck by it, and saying that he's going to be gone by Christmas. But
Yeah, you've changed your mind on
no,
that as well.
Luton game is when I first said it.
I thought you said the
He's
Ipswich
gonna
game.
be-
Last year,
Huh?
Luton, we haven't played Luton this year. They're not in the league.
Sorry, Ipswich.
Yeah.
Ipswich. I
Now
said it
you're like
first
top
after the
4.
Ipswich game. Gone by
Yeah.
Christmas, but
Yeah.
I think the board are going to stick with it. And with the last 2 results, it looks like they could be right. But let's see what happens.
Arian said, I asked Arian, do you think we're through the worst of it now in terms of this season, in terms of how bad it got? He said he thinks so, but what do you reckon?
I bloody well hope so, mate, because I can't take another run like that we've just had, losing to the teams that we've lost to. We need to get our players back. Once we get our players back, if we can pull these kind of results with this many injuries, then, you know, it should be just an upward trajectory once we get our players back.
All right.
What's your target for Ange this season for him to keep his job? Would you say, like, bare minimum league position?
I want to go as hard as we can get to Europa League, because I think when you're looking at the teams in it, there's only about two or three teams that really worry me. So I want to go as far as possible as that. Semi-finals, hopefully minimum.
Okay. Yeah.
Win a trophy, hopefully, and 5th or above in the league. And I think that's a very good season.
So he's got to win a trophy and finish 5th for you to say he's going to keep his job. Would you say?
Not keep his job, but for me to say he's done a good job.
Okay. But what about to keep his job? What's the bare minimum?
I think it's a hard question, because I think it depends on the context of the season and if we've fallen apart and if we're losing a lot of games. Like I think it all depends on the manner of how it goes down. Basically, I think that's what it depends on. And I think if the players stop playing with him, for him, which they're not, because they are playing for him at the moment, you got to say that. If the players stop playing for him, then I think that's the moment where you got to say enough's enough.
Jed and a doggy on Sunday?
For sure. If a doggy's fit, for sure, because I think Porro, again today, weren't great. And Jed Spence is surprising Ange Postecoglou. So I think Porro needs deserved rest and a needed rest. And get Spence at right back, a doggy at left back. I completely agree. But I'm worried about the midfield, like, because Bissouma and Sarr put in a big effort tonight. I don't know are they going to be able to go again on the weekend and put in the same effort.
Wonder if he puts Bergvall back in. Good question. Maybe he puts Brennan in and Decky back in the centre. I don't know, because Decky just has 3 lungs. But look, appreciate you calling as always.
Semi-finals, people. Semi-finals. Man City, Man United, done and dusted.
Come on. See you in the studio tomorrow. Big day of content. See you soon.
I got your job, shithead.
Coops, or maybe we won't. Maybe Coops is going to.
Yeah, I'm going to take it. I'm keeping it now, Ben. I'm keeping it. He dodged my question, by the way, Ben, didn't he?
You're going to super yourself to the chair.
Yeah, I know.
All right,
Barry, look at this.
He's on the way home. I don't know if is he stopping for a Macca's? What's going on?
Well,
He's got to be stopping
interesting,
for a Macca's. But let's get him on the show. It's Barry on the what? Well, the M6 is it? M1?
M6. What do you mean? I'm not going to Manchester, mate. What's wrong with you?
Where are you?
I'm at the side of the A40, mate, to be precise. And I've even turned.
I forgot it was a home game for a second.
Yeah, all right, Sim. You've gone a little bit crazy, mate. I've had messages from my wife saying Sim's hilarious. I was like, I don't know. I can imagine there's been some high pitchedness and everything else. I've also turned my camera landscape for Coops because he got a bit offended by Roger's.
I know. It's like, come on, turn the phone landscape, guys. Come on, it's not hard.
Yeah, come on, guys. What are you doing? What are we doing here?
What are we doing? Yeah, what are we doing here? Or is this a fan show, or is this what? Or is this is this TikTok? Are we watching?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So you're going to see Mr. Box Office having a bit of a dance at the end. I don't know if Ben caught that on camera with in the match day.
Was he happy today? Was he happy today, Barry?
Of course he wasn't happy. Of course he wasn't happy, mate. What do you think? He wasn't happy. He was like, it's 3-0. We should have seen this game out. This is why I don't like this manager. This is outrageous. This is Tottenham Hotspur. We won. Josh King as well. Josh King, you are in the mud, mate. I'm not having any of this. We're exposing you for what you are. You tried to claim that we were going to lose today, and then you tried to say that it was reverse psychology on the football gods. And he was Sim, if you go back and look, he was trying to make me apologise because he wanted me to apologise so the gods would let us win. And I was holding firm. I was having none of it. So
Come on, Baz.
Look, what can we say?
Gods.
To the football gods, you're in the mud. Josh King's in the mud. Box Office is in the mud. Oh dear! But look, it was. What can we say, mate? 3-0 up, with half an hour to go. We kind of all just kind of thought, well, it's done now, isn't it? And I was like, there was people behind me. Oh, we're in the semi-final. Someone else cheering. I said, guys, just wait. This is Tottenham Hotspur. You don't know what you're going to expect. Then when it went 3-2, we were like, oh, my God, it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. Obviously, there was more away fans there. They obviously had more of an allocation. But look, we saw it out. I mean, we even saw Reggie come on the pitch. I was like, how did Reguilon get on the pitch? I wasn't even paying attention at that point. I was like, Reguilon's on the pitch. What's going on? So, look, I mean, it wasn't a great game, let's be honest. It was a great game for the neutral. It was both keepers were trying to outdo each other to try and get on You Being Framed. Maybe they wanted a couple of £250 for the old videos on You Being Framed, because they were both pulling out howlers left, right, and centre. And we took our chances. Ultimately, how many times have we said in games where we don't take our chances? We had 9 shots, 4 goals. United.
We had in that second half, Barry. We had 3 shots and we had 3 goals in that second half.
Yeah, look, I think we deserve to win. I don't think anyone could have said we didn't deserve to win that game of football. We took our chances. Solanke, pleased for him. Kulusevski, I mean, look, it was just again from him, just different gravy. And I think Ben's right. He was right about the atmosphere. He was right about the crowd. It just felt different tonight. And I've not seen it like that at a night game where everyone was loud. We obviously heard the songs, lots of songs. I don't know if you heard it over the commentary, the singing about Levy. It was really loud singing the Kulusevski song. So look, Archie Gray, another good performance. Dragoshin did okay. Again, look, we're missing our centre backs. Porro was horrible. I think you were right. I think it has to be Jed Spence and a doggy on Saturday. It's the midfield, I think, is the problem, Sim. This is where we're putting pressure on ourselves because there is no midfield. And we saw that against the last few games where we're going for, it was like, you go, we go, you go, we go. And it's like there's no midfield. And Basuma and Saab, yes, they put in a shift, but I'm worried about that midfield. Maddison again went missing. He does his usual, has a good game against the rubbish team. And then doesn't turn up again. Don wasn't amazing again. Obviously, he got the goal.
Did he mean it, Barry? Did he mean it? Come on.
I mean, he's going to say he meant it, right? But
did he mean it? Come on. Did he shoot from that corner?
Stick your neck out. Come on.
No, he didn't. He didn't mean it.
Oh,
Sonny didn't mean it. Sonny didn't mean it. Sonny, well,
Is this
I don't know
Mr.
how
Box
he meant
Office
it.
calling? Is this Mr. Box Office
Right,
calling
yeah,
in?
you're Sim. Look, I'm just glad that we've got another right back that can play a left back that's
Exactly.
got a few dance moves to him and is showing people that he can actually play football. We let the other one go. I mean, what can I say? We let Emerson Royale go, but Jed Spence seems to be holding up the mantle.
He does. He does indeed, Barry. Look, Liverpool in the semis, Barry. What's your reaction to the draw?
Well, it couldn't have gone any worse, mate, because Laura's obviously supports Liverpool. She's going to absolutely mud me on Sunday, probably, and then she's going to mud me over a two-leg semi-final. But look, anything can happen. Unfortunately, it is Liverpool. We are playing at home first, and VAR does tend to benefit Liverpool, right? So all the signs is that we're going to get absolutely destroyed. But
Is there VAR though?
There'll be VAR in the semi.
Yeah, there will.
you
in the
never
semi.
you never know, right? You never know. Liverpool could have some injuries. We could have some players back. I mean, probably
Actually,
more
I
for the
don't
second
know.
leg.
I don't know if
Shall I
there'll be
look that
VAR,
up? I'm going to look it
actually.
up now. Okay.
VAR is back for the semi-final. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Okay.
there
All
you
right.
go.
Yeah, it is, because we were talking about this. We were talking about this earlier.
Barry reporting on the ground.
Exactly, Sim. Don't worry. I'm coming
got
with it all for you, Sim. Your mind went like Fraser Forster's did, mate. When that goal went in, there was just screams like you were possessed, mate. So. Look, Liverpool. Look, I'm with Ben. We could have quite liked a couple of extra North London derbies thrown in to make it a bit spicy. But if the footballing gods want it to be a Spurs Arsenal final, then the footballing gods will make it a Spurs Arsenal final, right?
Exactly. Whoever we face in the final is a good storyline there if we get there anyway. Because if it's Newcastle, it's the trophy drought playoff. And with it's Arsenal, then obviously it's North London derby final. So either way, it's going to be a big game if it ever comes to it. But look, let's get through Liverpool first because we know it's going to be a big game, big couple of games there. And how much of a disadvantage for you is it playing the second leg away?
Yeah, look. We saw Barcelona went there with a 3-0 lead and threw it away. So that was the great Barcelona, right? This wasn't a Barcelona that is of now. Look, it's never going to be easy. I think, it's going to be tight. I think, look, the games, even Sunday, I think the games that when Liverpool play us at home, they're always tight. And really, we haven't really got battered when we've gone to Anfield. I mean, it was 4-3 the other season. So I don't know. You never know, right? Because you don't know if Liverpool are going to rest and rotate. Obviously, they're top of the league. So are they going to have one eye on the league and think, let's rest a few players? And, Southampton could have potentially done something yesterday. I mean, that was probably a red card for Kwanzaa. If VAR was there, then they're probably getting Kwanzaa sent off. So, look, you never know, Sim. It's tough. Whoever you face in this semi-final, I don't think you can sit there and say, "Oh, well, it's an easy game," right?
Actually, one thing to note as well after today is Maddison, after he got booked, is going to be banned from the first leg. He's out of the first
brilliant.
leg. He's suspended. So
Brilliant. Barry said
Brilliant. All right, so how do I feel now? Well, I don't know. It depends what Maddison was going to turn up. Was it a good Maddison or was it a bad Maddison? I guess, look, does that mean Bentancur's back for that game? Surely Bentancur's back by then, no?
Yeah, he'll be back then, yeah.
Madison wasn't that bad today, I didn't think. I thought he played a few nice finesse passes.
I don't know. I think he got lucky with falling over and holding his face like he did. We got lucky with that one and the Basuma one, but I just want to see the Maddison of Southampton, the Maddison that we see 30% of the season. That's the Maddison we need to start showing up, right? Because all right, okay, at the moment he's probably going to start now, but Bentancur's going to be back soon, and we need him back. So that's going to be a big plus for that midfield. And we just need those defenders back. And like I don't know who said it. It's probably you, Sim. Because you know, as Mr. Box Office likes to give you praise, you speak a lot of sense, and he doesn't banter you. He doesn't banter you like he banters Ben. I mean, he was trying it tonight. It was just absolutely embarrassing. But look, if once we get the players back, you never know. But I think the first leg's going to be too soon for Romero and Van der Ven. Is Vicario going to be back? I don't know.
Probably not, but
Probably not. So look, if we can keep it, if we can take at least 1-goal lead back to Anfield, and then hopefully all the players will be back, and we've got a full strength squad to choose from, then you never know, because Andy's going to be, you know what Andy's going to be like? He's going to be like, guys, he's not going to give it the old art way, always winning a second season. But if we've got our full strength squad, if they're up against Liverpool, even if it's 0-0, look, we can't win the tie after the first game, but we can certainly put ourselves in a really harmful position. So if we go there level on goals, or even or 1 goal ahead, with our full strength squad, anything can happen. You've seen this team. This team will always surprise you. So there's no point predicting, oh, we're going to get, we're going to Anfield, it's going to be hard. Because, we go and smash Man City and then go and lose 5 in a row or something stupid. Do you know what I mean? So, we could probably not win a game between now and the first leg, and then we'll go and beat Liverpool 4-0 at home, and everyone thinks we're through, and we'll lose 5-4 in the second, 5-0 in the second leg, or something like that will happen, because this is Tottenham Hotspur. But look, I think it's pleasing that we won in the week, and we won tonight, and look, it does give Ange a bit of credit, especially with all these injuries. But let's just enjoy it. It was entertaining tonight. It was entertaining in the week.
Are you not entertained, Barry?
Oh, I can't believe you said that.
Are you not entertained?
I'm entertained.
Guest? Gonna be saying, all right, we're back. Yeah, we're back. All right, guys. That is the end of the show anyway, so appreciate everyone for tuning in for what was a blockbuster evening of Tottenham entertainment.
You injured yourself, didn't you?
Absolutely, yeah. I still got a nursing my injury. Got to go to A&E after this. So
you went through just about every emotion.
Yeah, be a bit like the Spurs players tonight. We brave through it. With all the injuries, we got through it all together. John, brilliant comeback.
Cameo.
No sound, I think. People are saying. I don't know if you can hear us.
Doesn't matter. We'll mime it.
Bye-bye.